Good afternoon. We are calling the Community Development Recommending Board to order. Today is Tuesday, March 3rd. Items listed on the agenda, sir. Oh, thank you. Consider pass this on the chair to the Community Development Recommending Board. Do we need to do a roll call first?
Sure. Chair Pappas,
Present.
Co-Chair McGrath,
Present.
Alternative Co-Chair Jordan.
Not here yet.
Not yet. Okay. Member McCoy, Member Aker, excused.
Member Baker is excused.
Member Miller,
Here, present.
Member Hartley,
Excused.
Member Asling,
Present.
Member Powell, Member Yen,
Excused.
Member Jennison,
Here.
Member Jimenez, sorry, Member Taylor.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Items listed on the agenda may be taken out of the order presented. Two or more agenda items for consideration may be combined, and any item on the agenda may be removed or related discussion may be delayed at any time. Backup material for this agenda may be obtained from Luann B. Holmes, Acting City Clerk, at the City Clerk's office at 495 South Main Street, second floor, or in the city's webpage at www.nevada.gov. Are we, staff, are we in compliance with the open meeting law?
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, give your name for the record, the amount of discussion as well, the amount of discussion as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. Anyone would like to address the board at this time? Okay. Item 4, report by staff regarding the Community Development Block Grant Public Service CDBG-PS applications.
Madam Chair, today you are going to be reviewing or doing presentations from the applicants who have applied under the senior category, and we will start off also the homeless category. So,
Thank you. Item number 5. Today we'll be hearing regarding applications submitted by the Alzheimer's Disease and Related Disorders Association Incorporated, Desert Southwest Chapter of Helping Hands of Vegas Valley, Inc., Jewish Federation of Las Vegas, Lutheran Social Services of Nevada, Rebuilding Together Southern Nevada, the Gay and Lesbian Community Center of Southern Nevada, the Center, 3 Square, Catholic Charities of Southern Nevada, Family Promise of Las Vegas, Health of Southern Nevada, Huntridge Teen, Nevada Health Centers, Salvation Army, SHARE, DBA Veterans Village, St. Jude's Ranch for Children of Nevada Region, and the Shade Tree, Inc. At this time, does anybody on the board have any disclosures that they need to announce regarding any of the applicants we're going to be hearing from today?
Member Jamison has, I serve on the board of Catholic Charities of Southern Nevada, and so I'll be stepping out during my presentation. And I don't know, I talked to Deputy City Attorney. I know some of the other board members, I don't know that the agencies and funding from the board, so I don't know if I just need to make disclosure as they come up and present.
Well, if you know which ones you have, you fund, if you want to make the disclosure now, I think that would be sufficient.
So
Or if you want to wait and do it on an individual basis, whichever's easier
that's
for you.
probably easier. If I
For
do
you,
that.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any disclosures? Okay. Then I would like to go ahead and invite our first group up, the Alzheimer's Disease and Related Disorders Association, Inc. Please come and join us. Welcome. Yes. 1 second. Member McGrath.
Yeah, Vice Chair McGrath, and this is a question for staff. When looking at the financials for all nonprofits that we're charged and overseeing, I'm finding a lot of discrepancy with regard to the Form 990, which is a legal document. And I'm finding some nonprofits that are submitting theirs as express right dress, and others have left off executive salaries. And I think in light of what's happened in our community in the past 2 weeks that we've been reading the paper, I would like to see a bit of uniformity with that. Would it be possible to email the nonprofits that we judge and ask them to list in a separate exhibit perhaps the top 3 salaries or 5 salaries? I think 3 would be enough, but I fact, I even saw a form in there where it was filed under protest. And I think this is all information that we need to utilize to evaluate nonprofits.
Staff, we can definitely send an email out to all the applicants to have them send us an attachment on their spreadsheet for your review of top 3, top 5.
I would say the top 3 would be sufficient. I think that's more than enough. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Director Pappas, so again, welcome. You're going to have 10 minutes to speak. Sean will warn you, let you know when you're free, and at 5 minutes, we're going to stop you so that the board has time to ask questions. And then if there's any time left, you're welcome to fill that time with any additional information you'd like to provide us. If you have any handouts, they need to be handed out at the end of your presentation. You find it distracts the board from listening to your presentation when they come early. Please make sure that you state your name before you speak and spell your last name for the minutes. And speak loudly, there's a microphone right in front of you. Welcome, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead.
Thank you for your time today. My name is Albert Chavez. That's C-H-A-V-E-Z. I'm the Regional Director at the Alzheimer's Association here in Southern Nevada. The association in Southern Nevada provides a number of programs and services for those people who are caregivers, people with the disease, with Alzheimer's disease or other disorders.
My name is Cynthia Mora. My last name is Cawthon, M-O-R-A, and I'm a family care consultant with the Alzheimer's Association.
We have a perfect example of caregiver stress this morning, this afternoon. We actually had a caregiver that was planning to be with us this afternoon, but his caregiver was unable to get to his house on time, so he was unable to be here. And he was really stressed out and really remorseful for not being able to be here with us today, because he did want to address you. But this is the day in the life of a caregiver. It's unexpected. There's a lot of stress, emotional stress, physical stress on the caregiver, and we're here to provide programs and services to alleviate some of that stress. There are approximately 5 million people in the United States living with Alzheimer's disease. In our state, we have approximately 37,000 people. In Southern Nevada alone, 29,000 people. So if you add in and factor in caregivers, family members, the numbers grow exponentially. So it's a great problem in our state. I actually have the honor and privilege of serving on the state task force who built the state plan for Alzheimer's disease. And we found that there were 4 areas that were lacking in our state. The first was awareness. The second was diagnosis and assessment. The third was navigation, and the fourth was placement. We at the Alzheimer's Association are able to address 2 of those needs. One of them is awareness, and we try to do all that we can to raise awareness on the disease. And the next is navigation. Through family care consultation, we're actually able to navigate family members from diagnosis all the way through death and dying. And I'm going to ask Cynthia Mora, a family care consultant, to speak a little bit about family care consultation.
Yeah, so what we do is we get calls from the caregivers, most of the time from caregivers, sometimes from the actual person with their disease. And they're stressing out, they just got a diagnosis, they have no clue with Alzheimer's, and the dementia is unknown. So we guide them, we educate them, we make sure they understand the disease so they can help the person that was diagnosed. And then we just provide all the resources we can to help them get arrested. A lot of times when people are stressing out, they're caring for their loved ones 24/7. They have no help. A lot of people that live here, they retire, so they live here by themselves. Their families live somewhere in another state. So we provide the support, emotional support, education they need. And we pretty much guide them from A to Z. And we're available to talk to them 24/7 if somebody's stressing out. Actually, in the morning they can call our national line and we'll get the call the next day. They always get to speak to somebody. We do a lot of outreach because education is important. We do a lot of outreach. A lot of people are not aware of the disease. They may think it's the person's getting they expect that they're behaving in a certain manner, but unfortunately it could be a form of dementia. So we educate them, we teach them the signs, Now we're doing more stuff in Spanish as well. We're teaching the population about, Alzheimer's, and we find that there's a lot of people that are diagnosed and they have no clue what to do, so we come in and try to help with mental health through education, support group, and we have also workshops to teach caregivers how to help their family members.
So through our grant and our grant proposal, we are asking for assistance and partnership with us to help assist us with our helpline, help funding for our family care consultation program, to continue our support groups and our educational programs. Through our FCC program, we're really able to provide, like I said before, the navigation, the case management. We'll provide home visits from the beginning of the case all the way through the end. And through these services, we're actually able to provide additional service. So Cynthia mentioned respite vouchers. One of the services that we're able to provide is a respite voucher for those caregivers that need a break from the home. Medical or safe return bracelets. This is a bracelet that is worn by a person with the disease, and it really assists with the peace of mind for the caregiver and family members, and also helps with wandering. We have many cases on a regular basis where people have been found with wearing the bracelets. We actually provide scholarships for those bracelets, and I think that it's one of the best things out there. It's a piece of jewelry that can be worn around the bracelet, around the person with the disease at all times. There are gadgets out there with GPS in the phone and GPS in the shoes. However, when somebody begins to wander, they don't always take their GPS item with them. So that's a service that we can provide through Helpline, FCC, Education, and Support Group. Another program that we have.
You've got 5 minutes. We found it is very helpful if the board has time to ask questions. Excuse me, there's time to be
It's starting to get on a roll there. So.
I understand. The passion carries through.
Yeah.
So, board members, do we have any questions? Member Dennison.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for the work that you do. I know it's incredibly important. On your application, it talks about that you're going to have 900 unduplicated services. And I'm curious, when I look down through the rest of it, if you've also then got it broken down to 400 using the helpline and 300 using education and other services. How are those not duplicated services for the 900 that you services?
So we keep very strict program reporting methods, and so the unduplicated is going to be programmatic only. So those in the FCC could be duplicated in Helpline, or could typically calls start from Helpline. So a Helpline call could be a service, and then the next service is typically FCC. So unduplicated within the service is what we propose.
900 individuals for helping, and then may I have no follow-up?
Yes, absolutely.
900, and they might be, let's say, 2 or 3 of what you offer, but there are 900 different individuals that you are helping.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Michelle Miller. My questions are connected. Do you have any memos? I heard you mention national. So is there any memorandums of understanding with agencies here? Are you collaborating with other agencies?
We work with a number of different agencies on a regular basis, especially through our respite grant. We have a number of different providers that provide services to respite, whether it's in-home health care, assisted livings, things of that nature.
And my connected question, what kind of case management system do you use? Is it affiliated with national, or do you have a whole system? I know some use a particular database to track the services that they provide.
No, our program is not linked with national at this time, although there is some conversation of that coming down the road within the next few years. But all of our data is held locally, and Desert Southwest chapter actually covers all of Arizona and Southern Nevada, so there's 4 regional offices. and all of the information is tracked and pulled into our spreadsheets, and we get what we call quarterly reports on what we're doing.
Okay, do you know what the name of that program is? I know we have some agencies that have a database program or something that collects all that data.
Yeah, no, no,
Is it
ours
kind of
is.
similar? It has to be different. but-
It is different. Ours is basically our reporting mechanism for our numbers are spreadsheets, which are all housed in one area, and then the reports are pulled into one report. Our case management, however, is held in our office, and then we, through the ADSD grant with respite and caregiver supportive services, we also use SAMS that helps us with the tracking of those numbers.
We have 30 seconds left, so board members, any questions? But you have the last 30 seconds? You want to throw it for 30 seconds?
I was about to say early stage as well. So the early stage program, so respite, MASR, and early stage is another program. For those people in the earliest stages of Alzheimer's disease, we have a number of different programs and services that run out of the office. Early stage is one of our newest programs. We've been running early stage for the last couple years, and it's very successful. Really assisting people in the earliest stages plan for the disease.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming in, we appreciate you taking the time, and thank you for all that you do for us.
Thank you.
So while board members take their notes, I'd like to go ahead and invite the Desert Southwest chapter of Helping Hands of Vegas Valley up to the table.
If you could correct our name, please. The Desert Southwest chapter is actually part of the Alzheimer's Association.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much.
That's okay.
The commas, I wasn't sure where the commas were.
Sorry, staff trouble, so it took me a minute to figure out where the.
There are, gotcha. Thank you so much. So this is Helping Hands of Vegas Valley. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and I apologize for the confusion with your name.
That's okay.
Let me go through the spiel again. You'll have, yes, staff.
Trumbull staff. I'll leave because we have no new people in. There's a sign-in sheet, if you could print your name and the name of anybody that attended with you. And we also have a flyer that we would love for you to take back to your agency, and some of you may have gotten an email from me today. We're doing a survey for our 5-year consolidated plan, and we would love it if your clients would participate in that survey, and yourselves as well.
Thank you, staff. So Helping Hands of Vegas Valley, you're going to have 10 minutes to speak. Sean will warn you at 3 minutes. We're going to ask you to stop at 5 so we have time for questions. And then any time left over, you'll be free to fill in. Please make sure you state your name and spell your last name before you speak, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us here today. My name is Dana Serrata, that's S-E-R-R-A-T-A. I'm the Executive Director of Helping Hands of Vegas Valley. And to my left, I have Alice Chazen, C-H-A-Z-E-N, she's our bookkeeper, and Carolyn Pelletier to my right, P-E-L-L-E-T-I-E-R, she's our transportation manager. So we are here today to talk to you about Helping Hands of Vegas Valley and the free services that we offer to seniors so that they can remain in the community, remain as part of our community, and also be independent with dignity for as long as possible. And one of the programs that we provide, in addition to the respite care vouchers and the food pantry that we offer, is our transportation service. This service is funded by a variety of sources, including Las Vegas CDBG funds right now, which fund a part-time driver, which covers a weekend day and also the days off of our other drivers. This allows for our clients that live in the city of Las Vegas, as well as the rest of the valley, to access shopping trips on the weekends. So we take group shopping on our large 14-passenger bus that can accommodate wheelchairs, and they are able to go to a Super Walmart or whatever location we can find that will give them the best benefit for their dollar and let them shop, so that then during the rest of the week we have more time available on our vehicles and with our volunteers for medical rides. So this is a really important piece of what we do, and again, this is offered free for the seniors. We don't ask them for a dime. We don't ask them whether they, what their income level is, although we ask them if they're above or below poverty. And we find that most of our clients are around $700 to $900 income, so they're at poverty or below. They're typically living by themselves. They don't have relatives in the area. And right now in the Valley, we're serving over 800 clients, 60 and over, and we have another 800 plus on a waiting list. That waiting list is 12 months long. So if someone comes to me today and asks to get on our list and they meet the eligibility requirements, we won't be able to give them a ride for at least a year because we just don't have the capacity. We work with a lot of other agencies in town and operate our transportation system, in particular with JDC Strand Helping Hands of North Las Vegas. So we utilize their 2 vehicles and drivers, and we are the ones that route and take care of taking reservations for those rides for not only the whole Valley, City of Las Vegas, and North Las Vegas, but it's everything except Henderson, is who we're covering. In the last couple of months, I found out that our City of Las Vegas seniors have heard about us a little bit more, and I think it's because of the group shopping trips. And our waiting list now for City of Las Vegas seniors is over 150. So we're trying to get them in as fast as we can. We have one intake person who goes out and does in-home visits and does the intake in-home. And she takes care of getting them on board. And once they're on board into our system, then all they have to do is call Carolyn and her staff and request a ride. Very easy for them. We pick them up at their door, take them where they need to go, and deliver them back to their door. So this funding helps us pay for that staff person, that extra person to cover the days off for our drivers and to cover that Saturday, every Saturday, to give rides. So I'll go ahead and let you all have a chance to talk.
Members? Member Dennis?
Sorry.
That's okay.
Terry Johnson. So this money, is the waiting list 800 just for transportation, it's not for
Yes.
food?
Yes.
Okay. Who else do you work with in collaboration? Is there anybody else besides the city companies that offer transportation?
No one else offers free transportation except us in JDC Strand, Helping Hands of North Las Vegas, and Helping Hands of Henderson, which is part of St. Rose.
And with the population that you're serving, what kind of collaboration do you have with like Catholic Charities and with the Jewish Federation? You don't listen to the partner that Jewish Federation was to partner.
Yes, and we do have collaborations with them. Our transportation collaboration with them is not formalized. We have a formalized collaboration with them for our food pantry as well as for Catholic Charities for our food pantry. Transportation, we also work with RTC very closely with Las Vegas Senior Lifeline, which is part of the Jewish Federation. And the reason why we don't have a formalized collaboration with those other agencies is because it's referral basis. So we don't view that as a, something formalized like it is with North Las Vegas.
Because you all still are tracking who received that services, so there's not.
Yes. Very close.
Michelle Miller. You said you do home visits in order to do your intake, so you know who your client is. Can you tell me a little bit about that process? Is that including obviously information about their health, contact? What other? How is that process? Oh, I guess I want to know how you're tracking that.
Yes, as part of our requirement as a recipient of Aging and Disability Services grants, we do an in-home intake. Our intake coordinator, who has a master's degree in mental health counseling and a bachelor's degree in human services, she goes out to the homes, meets with the senior, takes kind of an accounting of their environment, and she is able to help them go through the paperwork, sign the paperwork. We give them privacy practices, give them copies of everything, and then ask them about their health. Are you having issues with your hearing, your vision, your ambulation, and then refer them to resources that we don't provide, and then also help them access those resources.
to hinder practice, do you have something that's been coming up recently? Are your drivers multilingual, and do you have multilingual clients?
Yes, we do, and yes, we do. Our staff drivers, 2 of the 3 are bilingual English-Spanish, and then several of our volunteers speak a multitude of languages. We have Polish, English, Tagalog, Portuguese.
We have several drivers.
Yes, we have a lot of different languages, and we try, and if we know that a client is very comfortable speaking that native language, we try to connect them with a driver that speaks that language. And it's funny because the gentleman that we have as a volunteer driver who's from Poland came here speaking very little English. And so he was looking at the volunteer opportunity to help him increase his English, and we connected him with a client that was very proficient in English but loved to speak in her native Polish. And so it was a very good fit, and it made them both really comfortable, and it helped both of them.
Member Taylor, are you using any means to teach seniors how to use technology to reach out to services? Because I know that that's an issue sometimes with them using those means.
A lot of them are starting to use smartphones. As we're seeing more seniors age 60 and over retiring from jobs where they had access to technology, it's easier for us to say, okay, go to our website or go here or there. But the majority of our clients are so poor that they don't have access to those things, and because they need transportation, they can't get to the library or get to the places where those kinds of technology are free. So it is a challenge. I would love to be able to give them all iPads or something.
We have a minute and a half left. Board members, any other questions? You have an opportunity to fill in if you'd like.
I just want to thank you and the City of Las Vegas for your support that you've shown us. I think it's really heartening that we're seeing more seniors starting to come out and talk to us about needing transportation, that it's an option for them, and a lot of them didn't know that it existed, so the word is getting out and it's spreading, and so now we're going to be seeing those numbers really increase.
I'd like to say thank you, because I can't do my job without the assistance of you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you coming in. We appreciate everything you do for the valley. Thank you.
Thank you.
Members make their notes. I'd like to invite the Jewish Federation of Las Vegas to come to the table and join us. For anybody who's just come in, there's a sign-in sheet back there on the table. If you could please, before you leave, sign in. Please print your name and the name of everybody that's joined you. It helps with the meeting the minutes later. Thank you so much for your help. Hi there, welcome. Little spiel, you have 10 minutes to speak. Sean will warn you when you get to 3, and we'll try to stop you at 5. If we have time for questions and answers, please remember to state your name and spell your last name for the record. And we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
My name is Melissa Krause. That's Krause. I am the interim director for Las Vegas Senior Lifeline. Before I begin, I just want to introduce 2 of our clients here. We have Beatrice Williams and Beverly Hilton. They will be making a brief presentation at the end. And I just want to say thank you for having us here today. For the past 4 years, Las Vegas Senior Lifeline has benefited from the generous support of the city and its community development block grant. In that time span, we've been able to assist more than 750 clients around the valley. Just since July of 2014, our case managers have conducted 428 home visit assessments, 160 of those within Las Vegas. By interviewing clients in their homes, Senior Lifeline case managers are able to make observations, collect data, and formulate recommendations not only for Senior Lifeline but for other agencies here in the valley, resulting in a comprehensive service plan. Las Vegas Senior Lifeline case management services are integral to the successful aging initiatives that the City of Las Vegas has committed to. Our clients reap tremendous benefits from a well-functioning case management program like Las Vegas Senior Lifeline. Their life satisfaction increases, the readmission rates to hospitals decline, and most importantly, the amount of time that they're able to stay in their homes independently increases. One of our clients who attends congregate meal each week has reported great health changes since he started attending just 4 months ago. He has a health condition that decreases his appetite significantly, and he lives off of $1,035 a month. So those two things combined are especially bad for him because he tends to only eat when the food is extremely appetizing for him. So we have been able to supplement his food through our food voucher program as well as the meal we provide to him weekly. And we've also been able to connect him with another congregate meal program that serves 5 days a week to help him even more. An added bonus with congregate meal is socialization. He's made several new friends, and with that added support, his out-of-home life has improved as well. The clients we serve are poor, vulnerable, and disadvantaged, but many of them haven't always been that way. One man in this West has an income of $730 a month from Social Security. He did plan well for retirement, but unfortunately he had to spend his life savings on cancer treatments for his now deceased wife. Seniors in distress like that need our services to help them understand what social services resources are available. They've never needed assistance, so they typically don't get a turn. And sometimes they just don't know how to solve a crisis. For example, during my time as case manager, one of my clients called me in a panic because the North Las Vegas marshals were calling telling him he had a warrant out for his arrest. He had never been in any kind of trouble, he didn't know what they were talking about, and he was terrified. He's socially isolated, doesn't have any family left, so I was the only person he trusted to help him. I suspected fraud immediately, so I called the court. It did turn out there was a warrant for his arrest, but his identity had been stolen and used when the crime was committed. So through our tax voucher program, we were able to get him transportation to the courthouse, and once they compared mugshots and cleared his name, we were able to get him connected with the legal aid center to clear the rest of the identity theft case. Las Vegas Senior Lifeline counts on your support for our case management so that we can continue to provide access to advocacy for locating and understanding available services and benefits like assistance with Medicare premiums, payment assistance for energy bills and prescription drug co-pays, homemaker, transportation and nutrition assistance, and resolving of personal and legal issues. With the rapidly increasing older population and an increase in chronically ill seniors living longer, Senior Lifeline services are needed now more than ever. Our goal is to continue our partnership with the City of Las Vegas and make significant strides in the community and in the lives of our senior adults. I want to thank you for having us here today and for your continued support.
I'm Marjorie Grigel, I'm the Chief Financial Officer at Las Vegas Senior Lifeline and at the Jewish Federation. GRIEBEL. We really, really appreciate your support. Seeing the difference that it makes in the lives of our seniors is just remarkable. We have the congregate meal and the case they come every week, and they really seem to enjoy the socialization. And it's through the case management that we're able to assess those needs, and that's where the funding from the City of Las Vegas is so crucial to what we do, and we really, really appreciate it.
So just briefly, Ms. Beverly,
You're 5 and 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. Let's have some questions real quick, and then hopefully we'll have time to invite the rest. Board members.
Thank you. Terry Jamison. So on your application, I guess I'm just a little bit confused because up at the top in number 3, it says over 350 people that you help, but then underneath 9, it talks about how many clients that have participated in part of the past 3 years. It says 156. So can you tell me on a yearly basis how many people that you help, and then how many people will this family assist you in helping? That would be the numbers that are
total clients versus City of Las Vegas clients.
So in question number 3.
United States 350.
Yeah, that's our total client base. Not all of our clients live in the City of Las Vegas. Some live in Henderson and Incorporated Clark County.
Okay.
And so the 150 is the number of City of Las Vegas clients.
So, well, I guess number 10 says 175, and then the city of Las Vegas, number 10. And then for clients in the past 3 years is 156. You know what, in regards to time, I don't want to hold this up, but those are the things that I've been looking at from the applications to ensure that the numbers match up, and maybe it's something I'm just not aware of and how it's laid out there, Sean.
Staff, real quick, it could possibly be the difference of when the applications were done. The year's not over yet, so they may be at 156.
Okay.
They're anticipating 175.
Okay. Is that going to be consistent for the rest of the applications as well?
I believe so.
Okay, then I won't ask that question.
Different practice. I have found that a lot of it, unfortunately, staff works very, very hard when they meet with everybody to try to simulate the understanding. But different groups might have a different understanding of the question, just like we just did.
Okay.
So it's not a bad question to ask.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
If you're not clear, it's better to clarify than not, I think.
Thank you.
So Member Taylor, just point of clarification, so the funds that there would be specifically be allocated toward residents in the city of Las Vegas, right? Okay. I think that's what I was getting.
To better have a staff always make sure when the money comes in, because all of this is strictly on reimbursement. I know I'm taking some of your time, but can we get a little bit of time to make up for this, Sean? Thank you. The staff works very, very hard to make sure that when the request for reimbursement for funds comes in, they make sure that that money is only spent on City of Las Vegas residents, so that we're making sure that our money is properly applied. Staff does a great job with that.
One of the things that we have done to ensure that is we've customized our database so that when a client is entered, we research where their zip code lies to make sure that it lies within the city parameters, and then they are given a special designator that they are a City of Las Vegas client, so that we make sure that information gets to you correctly.
Thank you so much. Staff, any other questions?
I have a comment. I want to recognize you for the 4-star rating from Sheridan Navigator.
Thank you.
Which is great, and that is current.
Yes, and yeah, we work very hard
I know you do.
to maintain that and to keep it
Good.
current and everything like that. And you know, with the past few years where we've had, you know, a lot of our donors and stuff like that have been having some financial trouble, it's hard to keep Charity Navigator happy when you don't have too many write-offs and stuff like that. So, but we've been doing okay with that.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
You got an excellent board as well.
Thank you.
We have 2.5 minutes left. If the board doesn't have any more questions, we'd love to hear from your guests.
Can we just disclose right now, I apologize, that we provide money to the Jewish Federation for our immediate needs.
Do you feel that that's going to influence your sentiment? Thank you.
I don't think that's right. Because it just so happens, I did many articles about it, and when people cannot hear, they start acting a little strange.
Our clients just wanted to say thank you to the city for your continued support, and we put together a thank you.
On behalf of us, a little bit old senior.
So they put together just some brief thank yous for the city and their support. Do you want to add anything about how the service has helped you?
I just want, I'm very thankful for the service I've received. I'm a very grateful person, and I cherish the blessings that I have received from this foundation. Thank you.
Ladies, we appreciate you coming, and thank you so much for your beautiful heart.
I must say something.
Sure.
I really have to say something because I feel a little uncomfortable about one item.
Yes, ma'am.
The one item I feel very uncomfortable about is the fact that I've been reading lately about who is going to get delusional, who will get Alzheimer's. It's a very, very downer type of a thing, but most of us are very scared because we feel once it's in the books, it's in the books.
we may as well just call it quits. If the 7 years, you're going to die anyway, right? I still don't understand why you folks here today, you're such hardworking folks. Why are you having a competition as to who can talk more lowly than the other? I don't understand it, because it's, no, really. I don't understand, why are you folks so shy? Why aren't you speaking out? You're speaking, you have a terrific message that you're giving to us, and we're very appreciative of it, but we would appreciate it even more if we understood what the heck you were talking about. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. How about that?
Well, you're
Thank
exactly
you.
right, and we'll make a better effort at that. We forget sometimes that we're not just addressing the rest of the board, that we're addressing the entire group, so thank you for that reminder.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
You guys have a wonderful evening or afternoon. Thank you so much for helping us for immediately live. So while the board is making their notes, I'd like to invite the Lutheran Social Services of Nevada to come on up to the table.
And just want to point out that United Way also funds emergency social services through our shelter program.
Welcome, ladies. Maybe if you didn't before you came in, before you leave, please make sure you sign in and do it all in print so that we know who's here. You're going to have 10 minutes to speak. Sean will warn you at 3 minutes, and we'll try to stop you at 5 so that we have time for questions and answers. Anytime at the end, we'll give you time to fill in. Please make sure you state your name and spell your last name for our minute to taker. And as we just heard, we all need you to speak up a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting us today. My name is Armina Manatsaganyan. M is Mary, N is Nancy, A is Tom, S is Samuel, A-K-A-N-Y-A-N.
Thank you.
That's me confused as well. My maiden last name is a little bit different than the married one. I'm the Executive Director of Lutheran Social Services of Nevada, and here with me are Melissa and Sherry, and they control their last names.
Marissa Cervantes, C-E-R-V-A-N-T-E-S.
Sherry Richardson, R-I-C-H-A-R-D-S-O-N.
We are submitting an application today for Senior Wellness and Fitness Program. This is an expansion of our current services, so it's a combination of new and old, basically current programs. Evidence-based practice shows that wellness programs are becoming more prevalent for both able-bodied and homebound seniors because they improve the function and promote healthy and successful living. We all know that seniors have more long-term health conditions such as heart disease, arthritis, diabetes, and injuries such as falls. Due to those conditions, there's a higher economic and healthcare cost to this age group. Therefore, it is important for us to try to help them to remain independent as much as possible. So for those purposes, we introduced this wellness and fitness program. And the goal of it is to alleviate social isolation and enhance the quality of life of about 135 unduplicated City of Nevada low-income seniors aged 62 and older by providing a range of health, nutrition, fitness, socializing, transportation, food delivery, and social services, which will be tailored to each individual senior's needs. Basically, the ultimate goal of the program is to help both able-bodied and homebound seniors to continue to remain independent and adopt healthy self-management behavior. The program that we're proposing consists of 6 components: senior healthy nutrition and education, fitness classes, computer lab/TV station and socializing, senior travel companion, mobile pantry/meal delivery, and senior congregate meals. So what these are, for 135 unduplicated people, the services for those that are homebound will be the following services. There are 25 unduplicated homebound seniors that will receive the following services. They will be case managed by the agency. are to receive about 7 services such as mobile pantry / food delivery services, travel companion services such as running errands, grocery and department store shopping, doctor appointments, telephone calls, wellness checks, health and nutrition, recipes and education, budgeting services, socializing, reading books, watching TV, and things like that. When it comes to the rest 110 uneducated seniors that are able-bodied, the following services will be provided: senior congregate meals, supermarket style food pantry, health and nutrition and education, fitness classes, computer lab / TV station, and socializing sessions, coffee, tea, reading books, playing games, and cooking and things like that. What we're proposing is to have an wellness area at Lutheran Social Services, one of the current offices, to be designed to resemble someone's home, not an institutional place, so that they can come and socialize and receive those services. And one of the areas of Lutheran Social Services will be transformed into a fitness area. And one of the items that budget items that we're asking the support of City of Las Vegas is to support us by purchasing 3 fitness equipment that are specifically designed for seniors in order for us to be able to support them. And that basically is the program that we are proposing. And again, this is a combination of new an expansion as well as current services that we provide to our seniors. 135 seniors are proposing.
I also would like to add that essential supportive services will also be provided to these seniors. As part of the case management, we do an assessment to determine what services they need, what they already are receiving. And some of those services we can help with obtaining birth certificate, ID, SNAP application assistance. We have certified SNAP application staff, taxes, EAP, Southwest Gas Utilities, Project Reach, any of these services that can help expand their budget or alleviate obstacles that they may be facing when it comes to public assistance or becoming self-sufficient.
Board members.
You mentioned that do you have any partnerships with any fitness companies to do an exchange or in kind for the equipment specifically needed for the clients? And have you interacted with like the National Healthy Generation? I know they're looking at focusing some programs on our aging population. So are you in the process of that? Have you thought about that, or is that happening now?
That's the newest component that we're asking the support for, so that we are able to start the research, appropriate research. We have certainly conducted some research on fitness, but that's a brand new service, so we do not have currently any collaborations set up for that purpose, but certainly that is going, we want to be able to provide it because we are seeing that for many, many years we provided emergency food pantry, supermarket style food pantry services. Then we thought that it's not a solution, it's an emergency solution, so we incorporated the nutrition component, and so we have nutritionists supporting them in addition to receiving the food. Now the second step would be to make sure that they're also able to receive, to do their fitness, because that's the future as we are researching more and more, especially for seniors, in order for them to be able to be a little bit more healthier. So certainly that is the newest component. The fitness component is that we did not have. And yes, certainly we are going to be researching and setting up collaborations. And if we are able to receive it on a time basis, we certainly will let the staff know, and we will use, based on the approval, another one item after the approval.
Member Jansen, I'm just curious, when I look at the cost, the average cost per client, yours is listed at $3,300, and that seems like it's almost double from the other ones that we're doing. Is that the cost for the overall? I mean, why is that cost so high?
Should be, maybe I did the cost based on the overall, the total budget number, the $430,000. Certainly, I probably have done it for the total budget, if that makes sense.
So is that how much it cost you to all the services you were referring to for the homebound as well as those that are not homebound? and then you wrap all that together, and that's what it costs you to run to provide a service, all of those services,
Correct.
which would also include this new wellness.
Right, and a portion of that amount will also be the income. Does it make sense? I hope I answered the question if I did proposal correctly.
And
But
maybe that's-
based on the budget questions, how I understood, that's how I basically decided.
And then my other, just follow-up question on that
Sure.
is, when you, when you're looking at these clients, do you have anyone on a waiting list? There's certain services that people got waiting lists, so is there a waiting list for your services or just the other wraparound services besides the health?
We have, when it comes to the able body, the 110, we certainly have more than 110 clients right now as part of our clientele. When it comes to the homebound, that's a portion of the newness as well. We will be collaborating with organizations that have homebound senior services. And for example, today when we were at the Board of County Commissioners meeting, we were witnessing that private charities in Southern Nevada received an approval from the county for a large amount of money for that piece, and we will be definitely collaborating. Deacon County said that they have 600 on waiting lists that are homebound. So I'm sure that we will be very happy for us to be able to grab at least 25. And that would be a test for Lutheran Social Services. That's why we don't have a large number of 25 unduplicated. So we want to be able to do it well, and then based on our experience, we'll do better next time.
Just one follow-up, that's okay, Madam Chair. So I think you answered it, but I just want to be clear, because this is very, very important to me.
Of course.
I just want to make sure that there's a need that's out there. So you are talking to Catholic charities, and you are talking to Jewish services, so that you're not duplicating the individual social service. So they've got this group, and you've got that group, and you all are communicating to ensure that the most people can get services.
I will actually, if you will allow me, it doesn't have anything to do with this project, but I will tell you that today at the Board of County Commissioners, also Lutheran Social Services was approved for kind of a unique one-stop shop type idea of having a building, the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Nevada and Oakland combined together, and they submitted an application. So there's about 7 to 8 organizations that will be co-located in one building, and will be providing all kinds of services, so the clients would not need to be going here and there. So we, for years, I've been thinking about the duplication portion, and that's one of the, and Commissioner Priest today said that that's a very interesting idea, how the nonprofits will be co-located, and we will be learning from each other so that, and using, kind of sharing one client, and maybe between each other. So certainly, we'll make sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you for everything you do for us.
Thank you so much.
You did a very good job with your presentation. The name was the hardest part. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and invite Rebuilding Together Southern Nevada to come up and join us. And for those of you that just came in, please make sure that you sign in on the sheet back there. You'll print your name for the record, and we appreciate you joining us.
Madam Chair, Member Taylor, just for disclosure purposes, I was involved with this organization about 15 years ago, but it was before the name change. It was called Christmas in April before that, so I just want to disclose that for the record.
Thank you so much. You're going to have 10 minutes to speak. Sean will run you at 3 minutes, and we'll try to stop you at 5 so that we have time for questions and answers. Any time left over, you can fill in. Please make sure you state your name and spell your last name for the record, and speak up for the recording and for the rest of the audience. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. My name is Cynthia Baca, last name B as in boy, A-C-A. I'm Executive Director of Rebuilding Together. As this gentleman pointed out, many years ago founded as Christmas in April. And someone usually asks that question, so we provide critical home repairs to low to moderate income homeowners, seniors specifically, for the purposes of this program. We also do accessibility modifications. Our goal is to provide our seniors with a safe and healthy home in order to age in place and not become a burden on the families and the communities as a whole. We, in all of Las Vegas, Greater Las Vegas Valley last year, we assisted 341 unduplicated homeowners. We leveraged private funds as well as many in-kind donations for services and materials for our projects. On our critical home repairs, we only hire licensed contractors to provide those repairs to the homeowners. They're primarily roofing, hot water heater, plumbing, air conditioning, and heating issues when people address us. So using the contractors, we're able to provide a warranty for those services. In addition to that, we have several volunteer opportunities for corporate teams who adopt a home or make a difference day, Veterans Weekend, and our national flagship program, National Rebuilding Day, which happens the last weekend, the last Saturday in April each year. This last year, we assisted 341 homeowners and an additional 37 with the volunteer projects, and we will hit that approximate number again this year. We have a construction contract with the City of Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson. We also do the lead test lead abatement for the City of Henderson through a partnership with UNLV College of Community Health. Used to be Community Health Sciences, I think it's through a Wells Fargo grant with Healthy Homes program. This year we have also taken on the forgivable loan program to do major home remodeling up to $50,000 per home with the City of Las Vegas, as well as North Las Vegas. This is a program that we entered into with the county a number of years ago. It was very successful and allows us to address the major needs, as you probably understand. Many of these homeowners, there's a great deal of deferred maintenance in these properties. Most our homeowners have averaged 22 years in their home, and their incomes are from the low to poverty level for the most part, as has been discussed before. Their incomes are somewhere between $900 and $1,200 a month.
How do you, I'm absolutely certain that the need far outweighs the ability that you guys have. How do you select who your clients are that you benefit from?
Well, the criteria, the level of preference is seniors, disabled, families with small children, veterans, and currently active military who fall within the income guidelines. For the purposes of this grant, it is specifically seniors. We do assist with other funds, the other group of people who do not fall within the senior category. And it's pretty much on a first-come, first-served basis. In the summertime, it's heavily air conditioned, as you can imagine. And it's whoever we can get to first, whatever we can get a contractor out there first, is how we address it. Right now, we have approximately 47 people in the City of Las Vegas on a waiting list, and we have expended our funds with the construction money for the rest of the year, so we're dependent on our private funding to support that. And we do income qualify them. We have the documentation required.
Member Taylor, I just wanted to mention, since you did bring it up, that you guys do a good job of reaching out to local corporations here in town and identifying volunteers, and that's something that I wanted to commend you guys for. So if you need to see, reach out to corporate community the way you guys do.
We have been very, very fortunate that through the recession, we only lost 4 of our major funders, and they were engineering architectural construction firms who either disappeared or merged with others. Thank you for that.
Member Janison, I don't really have any questions on which I've lost my computer, so whatever questions I have, you're safe, because they're not here, right? That's right. But I love your program because, from my knowledge, I don't think there's anybody else doing this. Is that correct?
Not exclusively. We do partner with a lot of agencies when a project is too costly. But we are the only ones who specifically do construction.
Superintendent Pappas, I'm sure you've done this, but I used to work for Pilgrim Homes, and I knew that when they did the construction, there's always materials left over. I'm betting that if you haven't already, to reach out to some of these major builders that build in the valley, they love participating in programs like this. I remember they did I read from that. They did one, they had us all go out, and those of us who wanted to went down and helped with Habitat for Humanity. So they do get involved with things like that. So if you haven't reached out to some of these builders, you might, because they might have things that they might otherwise just dispose of that would be very useful to you, as well as having the hands connected to help.
We don't have warehouse space. Although we own our little house just down the street here and have for the last 12 years. We have a little two-car garage, and we are not zoning to store any paint, so it's mostly paint-related supplies and so forth. Our goal in the next year is to lease out our house and secure a warehouse office space area, because it's also very difficult when we have volunteers come by to pick up supplies for their projects. Pulling up in the alley, we have 3 parking spaces, so we're limited by that. But we do, as a matter of fact, the Property Brothers just gave us their leftover materials from 2 projects that they just completed. The net proceeds of the sale of those will come to us to help a nonprofit organization, and we rehabbed 5 last year. So that was an additional 841 people. So we're leveraging and using everything we can.
I was thinking for, as far as Pilgrim Homes is concerned, even if you just looked at a specific project, hey, we're going to be working on this house, build it. You have people or materials that you might be willing to donate to this project that you wouldn't have to store. They might have it on hand for something else they might be finishing this week. There's always material on this project.
Absolutely, and we have been given roofing supplies for a city project that we did, a huge project. So we do take what we can, and we auction what we can't use and put it back into the program.
That's great.
Member Taylor, just one other thing. I remember years ago, I used to confuse what Habitat for Humanity did and what you did, and having to listen to and explain how different it is that you're actually renovating existing homes, you're not building brand new homes. And people used to get confused, I remember years ago, about what you guys did, and it's so different.
We do not build from the ground up. We take existing housing stock and rehab it. Exactly. Well, I will tell you, on the topic of volunteers, we had a record 1,546 volunteers last year who joined us. All 2 corporations. We have 2 U.S. Air Force construction teams who have not deployed, adopt major projects, and they can take those down to the slab and rebuild them. They can get permits and everything. So we're very fortunate to have major corporations in town continue to support us and continue to increase the number of volunteers and funding we provide us. And we send them all, every single one, a certificate of participation, so we know exactly who they are. And this is a little different from Habitat too, because we know exactly who is on property at any given time. And with our volunteer teams now, we have shifted in the last 3 years to having volunteers only work on exterior property cleanup and painting, and they do not enter the home.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for your support.
Well, the board makes their notes. I'd like to invite the Gay and Lesbian Community Center of Southern Nevada, the center, up to the table. Welcome. So you're going to have 10 minutes to speak. Sean will warn you, free, and try to stop your fight. That way we have time for questions and answers. And if there's any time at the end, you're welcome to fill in. Please make sure you state your name and spell your last name for the record. Speak up for the recording and for the audience. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. My name is Andre Wade, W-A-D-E, Director of Operations. And I'm here with Holly Reed, who is our Program Manager, R-E-E-S-E. So the center, we are one of the primary providers of services and support to the LGBT community, within being bisexual, transgender. And we recognize that with marriage equality, there's been a wide range of support here and there, and the issue of LGBT awareness has really grown. However, a lot of the social issues that relate to our community and individuals as a whole have really been left behind. So one of those populations is seniors. Our aging population faces the impact of being isolated and feeling lonely and not being supported by their communities. Most of the community have passed away, their loved ones have gone, and so we are here to provide services and support to them. We hope to further bring in seniors into our program to provide support. We started the senior programming back, it's called ACT-RE. We started back in December of 2014, so it's really a new program for us. And we have built this program based upon a survey that we sent out to folks. So we had about 165 respondents. And so one of the things that they said, or two of the things that they said, is that they want space for themselves, which is gender specific, imagine that. And so for our drop-in center at the center, on Mondays it's for men, Tuesdays for transgender population, Wednesdays it's for women, which is going right? And then Thursdays is for our lunch and learn, is where we bring in all populations and we provide them with in-service training and fitness activities and games. And then Fridays in the drop-in center is what we call a free-for-all, to still the alliteration going. And so we have specific programming to reach the LGBT population. And again, it's really to increase their participation in the community and decrease their isolation. And hopefully we want them to then be involved with our programming at the center. So we are very volunteer heavy, independent. And so we also want to lead them into the program. Largely, with the impact of seniors, we know that they have fewer access to food, especially for the low income. And when they go into interacting and going for services, it's always that mindset of, are the providers going to be competent and inclusive and welcoming? And so we do a lot of referrals to the community. So we have a lot of knowledge of who is LGBT competent. And so once we have our seniors interacting with our programs, we're able to provide them referrals to competent providers out in the community. Also, with our health enrollment center that we partner with the Southern Nevada Health District, we provide HIV, STD testing, but also we started doing vaccinations. And so if we have any of our seniors that are in need of that particular resource, we are able to refer them literally behind our building to another portion free of charge. And also we have more of a mental health component as well. We have a psychologist working with us, so any of our seniors that need mental health support, we're able to refer them to her as well. So as a community center that's been around since 1993, we are really looking to expand our services and how we're doing our programming. So we are really trying to go into more of a case management sort of model where we are providing a lot more of the services. So we recognize that a lot of people come to us and they need support, they need a safe space, but we also feel that we need to do a better job of actually providing some sort of services to them. So right now, we are really looking to provide that social support, the activities, and the workshops. So we want to be able to bring people, bring resources to people during their different drop-in days. And so Holly has created a list of resources and people that we have started to reach out to provide the services, and she can explain about that and a little bit more.
So basically what we're doing is we're giving our seniors a chance to be able to get together and have a safe space. And because we've been involved in so many affairs with the community for such a long period of time, we have a lot of relationships with the other agencies that provide LGBT services. We also do a lot of training for agencies that have not been traditionally LGBT oriented, but are getting now on board and wanting to become more diversified and understanding of that. Our seniors over a long term, it is showing over and over again, these are the people that stood up and fought the fight and risked their lives and everything to be able to make social change. And now in their aging years, they're vulnerable again. Many of them don't have children, they don't have family, they don't have anybody to be able to rely on. And what they're doing is they're then going back into, the more vulnerable they are, the more alone and isolated they are, they're going, many of them, back into the closet again in order to be able to receive services that they that they need to be able to do that. So every day, I mean, again, we just started it.
If there's timetable, let's just film it. Okay. Board members, any questions? You kind of touched on it a little bit. You talked about the outreach and the education. I know that there's been major changes in society to be more welcoming and more understanding of the LGBT community. Are you guys also doing outreach to that community, to the rest of the community that's not so familiar with who you are and who your clients are, so that there is more acceptance?
Absolutely. We are very involved with doing trainings. We do a lot of different trainings, and we're actually working on a training menu to be able to offer people. Right now, we get calls generally once or twice a week from different agencies, different organizations, schools, what have you, saying, can you come out and do some training? And that's a priority for us, so we do that a lot.
I was actually here this morning at the city manager's office to provide training for their detention staff on transgender issues specifically. And so as an example, we definitely looking out there to educate others.
She's not feeling well, so she's trying so hard. Last week, we were hearing from the groups that deal with our AIDS and HIV stricken population. When I was a child, 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, long childhood. There was so much education about the spread of AIDS and how dangerous it was. And now my sister's kids don't get anything in school, they get nothing. Obviously, that's got to be a priority of yours. Is that since your group is the target group that knows that risk for all of this? Is that a priority for you?
It is a priority for us. And the other thing that's a priority for us is to be able to connect our senior and our youth together. We already have very vibrant youth programs. And so we're talking about doing things like, a legacy project where the kids are going in and interviewing the seniors to be able to tell their lifelong stories and to be able to learn more. And so this interaction of those two groups together is particularly healthy and wonderful. And we just have the most amazing stories that have happened already. I'd love to be able to share that with you.
Member Jansen, so that brings up a question, because this grant is for the seniors, right? So how are you tracking then that, what's going to be the outcome back to the city to know that money went for the population that you said you want to serve?
The ACTRI program is specifically from 10 o'clock in the morning until 2:30 in the afternoon. These services are later in the evening. So we have different tracking devices with all of our programs. But the tracking devices that we're using specifically for the seniors are things like sign-in sheets and demographic information and where funds are going to, like if we issue a bus pass, where, who's it going to, all of those things are tracked very closely. So each one of our programs in the center has that tracking device so that we can see duplicated services, unduplicated, intersections, those kinds of things. We work really hard to be able to keep those things separate and audited.
So when someone receives a grant and they get it back, is that the kind of documentation that you will receive to ensure that the deliverables were met?
Yes, we ask the agencies to provide us with client demographics, and so they, for confidentiality purposes, they wouldn't say the person's name, but they would say that person or client member received X, Y, Z services.
Share, we're also looking more towards assessment and also doing client satisfaction surveys so we can find out exactly if we're meeting our population's needs and how well we're doing it, and then where are we missing as far as what gaps need to be filled as far as service delivery.
Thank you for that, because I just want to say for anybody that's applying for money, that's what we're hearing from donors all over the places. And it's great to do an output, but if you can truly show some outcomes with the monies, then it's just even more effective. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Milford Dale. Just a question. You say you're collaborating with the seniors, and they're sharing with you their comfort level. Have you ever gone with an agency in an attempt to collaborate, and that discomfort is still there? What do you do to educate them? What do you do to try to get them to support the program that you're trying to help these seniors with?
So that's a really good question, and right now, because this program is so new, and we started December 4th, we are very fundamentally trying to build a place, have a place with services, and get the word out into the community that we're here. Bring people in and have them be able to form their own social network and let us know what it is that they're needing. We're building so much.
We appreciate you joining us. Thank you. If you haven't seen it yet, see St. Vincent.
Yes.
That we were talking about the programs between the kids and the seniors. You made me think of that. Thank you very much. You guys have a great day.
We have a bunch of my former students that work there. I ran into them at the conference last year, the HRC conference.
Thank you.
Question for staff. When will you plan on?
Big girl just got it.
How, we have one agency left for seniors. How about we take a break after them before we dive into
That's perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. With that said, I'd like to invite Three Square to come up and join us. Welcome. And while they're coming up, I'd like to acknowledge that Member Roxanne McCoy has joined us.
And I'm going for disclosure that United Way provides money to.
Thank you so much. So welcome. My little spiel here. I do it at night in my sleep. You'll have 10 minutes to speak. Sean will warn you at 3, and we'll try to stop you at 5 so that this board has time to ask questions. Anytime left over at the end, you're welcome to fill in. Please make sure you state your name and spell your last name for the record. Speak up for the recording and for our audience. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. My name is Kate McLaughlin, and I am with Three Square Food Bank in the Programs Department. With me today are Andy Shurick, our Chief Financial Officer, and SCHURICHT, and I think I forgot, McLaughlin, MCLAUGHLIN, and Nina Taylor from Nevada Hand, one of our partner agencies, and I believe that's TAYLOR.
Thank you.
We are here today to request funds for the Senior Share Program. The Senior Share Program began in fall of 2010 with 6 partner agencies serving about 400 seniors. Today we are serving about 1,200 seniors at 20 sites. We provide seniors who live with a chronic health condition with supplemental groceries twice a month. These chronic health conditions are things like diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, and the items in the boxes are lean proteins, whole grains, and fresh produce. We are striving to serve them with the most nutritious items that we can. Most of these seniors are dealing with medication use. And one of the things we have determined is that a lot of them can't afford to buy the nutritious food as well as the medication. So one of the things we are attempting to do with this program is to provide them with some of the groceries that will help them, give them a little bit more wiggle room in their budget to be able to get that medication. All of these seniors come through our partner agencies. They are required to be receiving food assistance from those agencies in some form, and they are getting, make sure I don't miss anything here. They also have to have the ability to prepare their own meals. These are items that they have to prepare in Meals on Wheels program. The total cost per senior is about $270 for the year, and we're able to do this because obviously we buy in bulk, and so we're able to get nice low cost, better than our partner agencies would be able to do buying individually. I wanted to leave some time for Nina to tell us a little bit about how it works at Nevada Hand, which serves about 170 of the 200 seniors in Las Vegas, in the city of Las Vegas.
So the way the program works is twice a month. They service 4 of our properties. Twice a month they bring in pallets, and it includes a box as well as a bag full of fresh fruits and produce. And it supplements our residents, and I've heard nothing but good news about the program, nothing but good things about the program, as far as them being able to use their, on average, $16 a month in SNAP benefits on something other than the vegetables that they need to prepare a soup or the
the grains that they need. So it really does help them and supplement their income, and they're able to keep more money in their pocket.
I'm ready for whatever questions you have to throw at us.
Board members.
Member Jamison said, just to clarify, I think you answered my question, that said that $270 is twice a month for 12 months. So it's 24 different times they receive it. And then you did say that they have to come through your partners, but in your application, I don't recall seeing within Social Services and the Jewish Federation listed as partners of Catholic Charities. Are you, so they all have to come through different, because you don't specifically provide to the public, you provide to agencies.
That's correct. And I know we did serve Senior Lifeline. I wasn't aware that was not one of our.
It may have been in there, and I just missed it, but I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, I think the only ones listed in here were the ones that served the bulk of residents of City of Las Vegas. And I think most of those were, simply not, were Clark County or.
Pappas. I just want a couple of accommodations. $270 a year to take care of your clients and give them the services that you provide are amazing. A couple of us have been serving on, had the pleasure of serving on this board for a number of years before your organization came about. And what you guys have done to unify everything, and all of your partnerships that have done to collaborate with you to eliminate the duplication of services, give us the best output and the best outreach for our clients is amazing. You guys do a great job, and we really appreciate what you do.
Thank you very much. We could not do it without all of our partner agencies. The bottom line is, without Nevada Hand and B22 and Martin Luther King Senior Center, all of these partner agencies really make it possible for us to reach all of the clients. It's vital.
Having been here from before you guys were here, and then seeing how all of this has come together, to me, this is one of the best examples of how that partnership, that teamwork, the entire valley can come together and really help our population, eliminate the duplication services, free up resources for other services that we can provide. It's the entire industry group. I don't know what the right word is, but for you and all of your partners, all of you should be commended for it. It's great.
Thank you.
Board members, any other questions? No? How much time do we have? Almost like 4 minutes.
Oh, we're going to have that question.
It's okay to
In your partnership, do you share, obviously to get their diet the way that you're attempting to supplement, there has to be some kind of care or case management or tracking for it, and particularly for your seniors that may be diabetic. I mean, how do you go about that in terms of with your partnership? Is it one centralized, or you just share information?
Okay, I'm not entirely clear about your question, but let me give a little bit of an explanation. So, when a senior is working with an agency partner, they are getting some form of assistance, and we do not look at which one and require it to be any certain kind of thing. So there may or may not be a lot of case management. What we do know is that we have done pre-assessment and post-assessments at different points throughout this program to look at their level of food security. And we know that this has increased their level of food security, and it has increased the number of meals, or healthy meals they're able to eat every day. And we are also attempting to look at things like providing them with the resources they need to better address the nutritional needs of having diabetes or hypertension or whatever it may be. But we do not step in and say, this is what you need to do as a diabetic, because it serves a broad number of people who could have a number of different things. We have worked, however, with UNLV nursing students to put together some materials on how to eat healthier, generally speaking. So we are going to be providing some of that, and we have provided some of that in the past, utilizing the items in the box and general information about nutritious eating.
You did answer my question, thank you. Because when you made the statement about the pre-assessment, because you could work with a partner, but if nobody's talking to each other, you don't know what you're doing. And you may be providing great things, but let's say, for instance, I'm gonna throw this ugly word out, something can't eat gluten, and there's gluten in it, and you haven't had that kind of pre-assessment conversation in order to continue that total quality management of what you do as an agency. Ooh. Oh, that was good. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Tom McGrath, I've got a comment if we have time, I'll keep it real short. One of the things I always look at with nonprofit is additional revenue streams. And Terry, you'll appreciate this. I served as the president of the Las Vegas Track Club for 2 years. And I love the organization. I attended the meeting on Sunday night. There was discussion about moving our track club banquet away from our present location, and so one of my board members, retired Las Vegas police officer and Marine as well. We got 3 bids, and she brought up 3 split. And I thought 3 split for our bank. She says, oh yeah, we'll have to inspect it, Tom, and it's nice, and you came in with a smoking price, and it looks like that's where we're going to have our banquet this year. But I was impressed with that.
Thank you.
The only question we wanted to ask is, do they serve alcohol? So we don't know that.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. Okay, that's good. You got my vote. But I mean, that's good. It's impressive, and hopefully that's what we're going to have a banquet this year. Thank you.
From an earned revenue standpoint, we raise about $250,000 a year from that.
Wow, I haven't been there, and I need to go check it out.
Please do.
Yes. So.
Member McCoy, I've been there before on several occasions, and I would not recommend this if you.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very be commended.
Thank you. We appreciate you joining us. We're about to take a break. I'll take this opportunity to let all the audience know and remind board members, we can always visit any of these agencies. Just identify yourself as a board member when you go. But we can always take the opportunity to tour the facilities and see how our funds are being used. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to take a 10-minute break, I'm showing 3:16.
Doing okay.
Showing 3:16. Okay, we'll take a 10-minute break and we'll be back. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm good, thanks. I'm good, thank you.
Okay, I have a question. I can't vote on.
You did so a few minutes ago.
My brain just stopped again. I can't vote on our previous meeting because I wasn't in attendance.
You can go by reading the application, but we'll be able to sort it on there.
Right, you can still score the application in the applicant.
No, did I miss that? It's 10 points. I thought it was 5.
I've never done one before.
Well, it's 5.
It's kind of cool.
You have 10 points.
Oh, 5 from y'all and 5, okay.
You have 10 points for presentation.
I'm pushing something wrong then. Oh, that is 10, thank you, Bob. Got you. Got you. Mom, be nice to me.
We are being nice. We'll be Jerry.
Got Miss Lewis over here.
Hey, Miss Lewis.
I know, yes. I was like, oh, I know. I'm definitely just like some people that don't quite talk very loud. I think that's what happens. Not necessarily the boss. But I was like, oh,
I appreciate that. And I'm sure more persons appreciate it.
Oh, look at this.
Taking it very slow. Not
Oh my God, this handwriting reminds me of my grandmother. Hi, I'm Deb. Nice to meet you. So Stephanie is our new,
She describes me different every time. Part of Rod, part of Pam. I don't know, we were able to
Did a what?
grab her and.
yeah, I always tell people, you're not replacing anybody. I always tell people, I'm succeeding them, not replacing them. You can't replace anybody. So just tell them you're succeeding them, you're not replacing them.
She's my new left arm.
She's her new left arm.
They gave us a thank you card. Isn't that Mama told us we wouldn't talk about that. She put us on blast. That is on record, didn't she?
It's on the minutes.
It's on the
Lecturing
minutes.
us about not being left.
Baby girl said she could not hear us.
I know, exactly.
Oh, that was so sweet.
I can't hear you.
I know. I'm going to remember that forever. Yeah, and their case in the other way, so that makes it a little hard. But, see, I'm like, I'm like, Phil, I tend to speak too loud. If I speak, people like, you know? So, yeah. This is beautiful. Well, welcome to the city. Thank you. Welcome to the class.
I'm still going to move forward with that meeting.
Guys, just so you know, for recording, I still have
We got it.
You got it, right? You got it. Sorry about that.
His family, he, there's a great picture, you can't really see his signs. He's a pure white, snarkable. And he's living in Reno, very southern. And I was apparently, I didn't get to go up and get it, it was apparently living on the south. And the hippies got taken care of him. And he
was like howling all the time, the neighbors were getting freaked out. And I'm friends with the school rescue workers on Facebook, because the boy was always little. So they were posting on the front, and all the people who had expressed interest, they had to help for the rescue places. And they're not going to invest any time and effort into what the so they called Brett, and they said, you have to get and his first 2 days, all three was like, it was the neighbors that come out of their houses. It was surreal. He was so sad. He'd take with him, they walked around the city, and strangers, they never met him, had no idea what was going on. But after the first 2 days or so, we spent a lot of time with him. He lives at my house now, so it's actually got him. And he's the sweetest animal I've ever met in my entire life. We have never seen him do a single aggressive thing. I mean, the puppy comes and jumps on his face and he doesn't do anything, he just lays there. He is just so the sweetest animal in the world. So this is, you know, the internet, this is one thing that trying to get rid of the boyfriend. His head is very similar. I mean, when we stand up and I walk down the street, his head is right here. He's this huge white wolf. He just walks down the street. He walks down the street with us. And all the kids in the neighborhood are for them. And I used him to teach the kids because so many kids just run up. So I taught all of them, you stop, ask for permission, ask for permission every single time. So now these kids come up to me, hi, can I say hi person? Can I say hi to Ginger? Yes. They do that, they do the hand stand, they do the ballet, and I'll talk about, he's been a great tool for it because he attracts the kids. They're just drawn to him.
So what are we allowing? How many minutes? 10 minutes?
10 minutes. We got
9 more. Not that I'm counting.
I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I count 9.
8. Yeah, 9. We do.
90 minutes. Okay.
So that's another. Another questions. So, alright. See.
And one time he actually got all the way on the bed and he was laying and I said, it's okay. And I'm trying to wiggle out the and it's the only time he wasn't as aggressive at all. I was laying there and I'm trying to wiggle out and he's trying to stand and it's right here. When you see a dog right here, I'll just breathe out one second, one second. Yeah, so I'm very slow. But he is the sweetest guy. I mean, my cat's snap.
How much money do we
So they were
So we're short request 1, 2, and we only have 1.
On the 10th. much that will be.
I'm not the one that's been changed. My issue is that they're sick. Because my immunization international. My
They also split it. Yeah, that's why they Charles was saying that to make sure they're not duplicating
That's a pop one. Yeah, okay, so.
I got cherries.
I swear, I smell everything. And so I thought the kids were loaded up.
No, I guess.
Oh no, I'm okay, thanks. If you have an extra one, I'll take one. She's pretty. I'll take it from her. Thank you. Thanks.
I want to validate it.
So I guess I don't know if everybody's been able to see this.
The last time I went down there, they sent us the rain one, the bottom one, and then they sent us, that's when we went up to I'm sorry, I'm just in that, okay. We went to Bravo, but then they also took us to Fight School. Yes. And Fight School, and so I assigned the Fight School, yeah. And so we were, going through it. They said, and so then we got an Amazon. Oh my God. I had no idea that it was
We're going to call the Community Development Recommending Board back to order. I would like to go ahead and invite Catholic Charities of Southern Nevada to come up and join us. Welcome.
At this point, Madam Chair, I'll see myself, I'm Shannon, to leave the room.
Yes, ma'am. And we will try to remember to come and get you. Yeah, please do.
Yeah, we don't have to. Like a digging right there.
So, just I'm going to do my quick little spiel again. For anybody who might have come in during the break, there's a sign-in sheet over on the left. Please make sure that you sign in, print your name. That's for the record. For our speakers, welcome. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you.
You'll have 10 minutes to speak. Sean will warn you at 3 and try to stop you at 5 so that we have time for questions and answers. Anytime at the end, you're welcome to fill in. Please make sure you state your name and spell your last name for the record, and speak up for the recording and for the rest of our audience. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, I'm Jimmy Rolson, R-O-L-S-O-N.
Megan Haley, H-A-L-E-Y. Jennifer Olson, O-L-S-E-N.
And we are here before you today to ask for $85,000 to provide assistance to homeless individuals and families. This would include program costs such as assistance with direct client services, such as hotel, motel assistance, bus passes, identification, and birth certificates, and salary for a community liaison case manager. We have the 8-acre campus located in the heart of the homeless corridor, which houses a multitude of services available to those in the community. The largest square footage of our campus is occupied by residential services, and that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. With this funding, we plan to conduct street outreach through the creation of a community liaison. The role of the community liaison is to meet with clients who are traditionally service resistant or do not know what services they may qualify for, not just the Catholic Charities, but in the community as a whole. The community liaison would not only make referrals, but to assist the client in the phone call to make the referral, reminders of the appointments, and completion of necessary paperwork. The goal of this position is to assist 150 unduplicated clients, many of whom are chronically homeless, to find employment or permanent housing. The goal of these Catholic charity programs are to help clients achieve and maintain self-sufficiency through intensification efforts. By having the community liaison available to not only conduct intakes and assessment with clients, but to follow up with the client on individual needs, increases the likelihood of success at a higher rate.
And then, in addition to that, the direct client services are also what we're asking for. A lot of the clients come to Catholic Charities with the clothes on their back. They've lost a lot of their items, or maybe their items were robbed from them. So identification, birth certificate, social security cards, a lot of them don't have any of that. And for a lot of programs, that's a requirement as well as employment requirements. So part of that funding would be to help the client not only ask for those items or complete the necessary paperwork, but for Catholic Charities to pay for those items for that client. They would also, a big issue for a lot of our clients as well as transportation. So as Jimmy said, we are in the heart of the homeless corridor, but there's a lot of places outside of the corridor clients might need to go, maybe medical appointments, employment interviews, things like that. What's happening is a lot of the clients aren't able to get to a medical appointment, so what they're doing is they're waiting until it's an emergency and calling an ambulance and getting emergency room services. So part of that would be to help with someone to get to a regularly scheduled doctor's appointment for that preventative care. The other big piece of this is also emergency hotel motel assistance for our clients. Catholic Charities has a men's shelter available every night for men, and then we have Shade Tree across the street, so if any families come to us, we would refer them over there. But the problem is when there's maybe intact families, both parents, they either have to split up, where the man's able to take Catholic Charities, the women and children are able to go to Shade Tree, or in the case of single fathers, where they wouldn't be eligible for either service, we have to try to find a place for them to go. And in order to keep that dignity and respect, the best place usually is for them to get an emergency hotel motel, so they can keep their family intact. So by doing that, we have a wonderful partnership with America's Best Value Inn, located on Washington and Main Street. With that partnership, it's within walking distance to our campus. We would oversee all of the services just as if they were staying on our campus. So we have a hand-cooked food pantry, the free community meal available, women, infant, and children program, all kinds of family and supportive services are available on campus, and those clients can access that while they're temporarily staying in that motel while we're helping them find supportive services. And we could talk all day about numbers, programs, things like that, but really our focus is clients. So I just wanted to share with you a client impact story and really how that helps our community. I wanted to share about Daryl. Daryl's a homeless client that's working for self-sufficiency in our resident empowerment program. He found Catholic Charities and was introduced to the program on Christmas Eve. He was very excited to be off the streets for Christmas. And he said, he's been working with his case manager to find employment. In the meantime, he's been learning skills such as housekeeping and maintenance around campus by volunteering. And he wrote this letter to us. So Daryl wrote, I've been homeless for 2 months with no real direction in my life path. I've been with REP for 32 days, and it really does put me on track. I go to work 5 days a week. That gets me reused to a daily routine. Tom's staff and all employees are great, very helpful. If anyone who needs a chance to get a better life, the streets are no place to be living. And that last line about the streets are no place to be living, that's why this would be so important for us to have someone out there in the community helping find those clients that are traditionally on the street, not accessing services, and get them into our campus to get the services they need to get back to self-sufficiency.
5 minutes. I had a conversation last week with another organization that's here. We were talking about some of the barriers that clients have in coming to these organizations, and a big part of it is that trust barrier. If they don't trust you, you're not going to be able to trust you to provide them help, etc. I also know that there are some people that are going to be resistant to help specifically from you because your name is Catholic Charities, and people have an immediate barrier against going to kind of what they believe is a faith-based organization. What do you do to overcome those barriers?
That's where I come in. When I walk out, they see me, they go, "Oh, okay." I have a strong rapport with a lot of the clients everywhere I go, no matter where it is. Here. I run into all the clients that they all know me. They all understand. If you need something, I'll help. Even if it's a woman that comes through, I don't care who it is. And the importance of this community liaison position is that person can be out there doing outreach, walking around the campus, walking around outside on Foremaster where it's a big issue. Once they get that rapport built, then they get that trust going, and then they'll say, "Oh, by the way, I need this. Can you help me with that?" So once we do baby steps with them, build up the rapport, then it just becomes easier.
We also let clients know that Catholic Charities doesn't only serve Catholics, that the reason that Catholic Charities exists is to help all people. So we make sure everyone knows that, to make sure that they can get this.
There was a program that Catholic Charities used to offer that was the public restroom. Is that still something you guys offer that part of this application as well? Can you talk about that for a little bit? Because I haven't heard anything about it. If our new members is fairly program.
That program is funded by this grant now, but going forward, we'll be paying for it ourselves. This year, it is the only public restroom in the corridor of Old program too, so drinking totally speaks like that, but basically it's cost us $16,000 a year to operate.
It's a restroom, men's and women's facility. You do not have to enter any of our buildings to use. It's open to anybody. So it doesn't matter if they stumble in intoxicated, those restrooms are still open. They just walk through the gate and they're right there, access block Main Street. It does not have a shower. It's just a restroom facility.
But for the new board members, we don't think about something just that simple, but a lot of the homeless are not going to be welcome to go to the casino and go to the restroom. But a lot of stuff to think about when we walk around downtown. And it's such a fundamental, not only is it such a fundamental need to make us feel human and recognized, it also offers incredible value to keep our streets clean.
Yes. Yes.
So.
Very, very important.
We also have a day shelter as well for men that does have a shower accessible, so we're able to let them know that that's accessible for them, and we work closely with shelters.
And traditionally, our day shelter would close at the end of summer, but we are we're trying to keep it year-round, minimal funding, and that does have shower facilities.
Board members.
Member Taylor, you might have mentioned it last time. What shelter are you working with?
What?
We're talking about what shelters last time, people that a lot of agencies in that way.
We work with Western.
Okay, I was going to mention them, but I wanted to mention. Thank you.
Staff, Tara Oliver. I just want to mention that at this point in time in our community, we do not have a wet shelter per se. With our Emergency Solutions grant, we requested applications to be able to provide that wet shelter. I would say that West Care probably is the closest thing to it. I just wanted to add that point of clarification, because I didn't want anybody to be confused. Thank you.
For those who may not have been here, clarify what a wet shelter is.
A wet shelter is a place where it's the provision of emergency shelter services for a chronic inebriated person.
Thank you.
Sean Moser staff, the business that is not actually a restaurant, the city of Las Vegas has made our focus more intent, and our focus is specifically on homeless funds, providing services for street homeless in specific areas of town to help them gain trust and care. That's why that's not applied to the street.
Thank you very much for the clarification, staff, and thank you to Catholic Charities for trying to fund, hopefully continue to fund that incredibly unique service for our residents. Board members. I'm guessing we'll go back in. Ish. anything you guys would like to add?
Just that, you know, this community liaison person is really important. Anyone can, you know, sometimes as a staff member, it's hard to find the right services for people. They expect people on their own to find those with limited minutes, no cell phone, no internet. It can be really difficult. So having someone on the ground able to connect with the clients, gain that trust, but also have access to those services is really key to getting these street homeless into the space that they need.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming and thank you for what you did for us.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'm going to talk to you, since the time statement.
Yes, ma'am.
You hold off on the 2010.
You got it. Okay, Family Promise of Las Vegas. Oh, good. Look. So while she's getting ready to remember, I want you to please state your name, spell your last name for your record. Thank you so much for doing that.
Good afternoon. My name is Terry Lindemann, Terry Lindemann, and I'm the Director of Family Promise of Las Vegas. And I brought with me today our outgoing treasurer, and his name is?
Randy Mitchell, R-A-N-D-Y-M-I-T-C-H-E-L-L.
And I have two guests with me today. Evelyn Files.
V-I?
E-V-A-L-Y-N. Evelyn.
And Jason Rose, J-Y-S-O-N-R-O-A-C-H.
Okay.
Thank you for this opportunity to come and present our work to you again today. I want to thank you for past help that you have given us. Family Promise of Las Vegas is a nonprofit. We've operated for 19 years in April of this year, 2015, and then we will be going into our 20th year for 2016. We have exclusively always worked in the City of Las Vegas zip code. Our site of operation was on the Old West Side, and most recently in the last 8 years, it's at 320 South 9th Street, which was a City of Las Vegas property, but now belongs to someone else and we leased from them. We are an affiliate of a national program that operates in 187 cities. And the benefit of that is that we receive education and training, and that helps us a lot. But we are alone in the work that we do in each community. We do not receive funding from our national program, and funding that comes to us does not go outside of Nevada. We use it exclusively for Clark County families. We serve homeless families with children under the age of 18. We began our work almost 20 years ago on the Old West Side, serving only 4 families at a time. And today we have built our capacity where now we have 3 programs that we operate. The Interfaith Shelter, we have a HUD program for disabled families, which is not a part of this request at all. And then we use case management also to support our families as they go and get housing across the community. We are asking for $32,000 to please assist us with the salary for one case manager that works with our families from the day they walk in the door and as they transition out into their own housing. I would like to spend some of my time this morning or this afternoon having Jason and Eve talk to you, because this is a perfect example of a family that I believe the city would like us to serve. They came to us on February 5th. I got a call from Help of Southern Nevada on my way to work. I had to pull over, take the call. They told me they had a family on the street in a park, and they wanted to know if we could help them. We had an opening, and I said, just have them go into the center. They'll probably get there about the same time as me. And then from that moment on, I think you can kind of give them a little snapshot of what happened. And we probably only have about 2 or 3 minutes. No pressure. Jason's very emotional, so it's okay.
My name is Jason Roach. First time, 3 years, my family slept in their own bed because of them. And I'm so grateful for everything. My diabetes, my blood glucose used to be in the 700s on a daily basis, and now it's 105. I was, in the past, I had used methamphetamine. I includes for some months. This family.
And what Jason would tell you is that in the last 3 years, amazingly, they lived in alleys, a 10th in Bonneville, which is only a few blocks from our day center. And they've been in shelters and they've been in other organizations, but no one was able to bring all the pieces back together again, kind of like Healthy Something. And what we do best as is case management and working with everyone that sits behind me here. We work with all the other outreach workers, with everyone that can partner services. We don't do everything by ourselves, but our staff is really good at navigating who does have the solution, and so we kind of pull it all together. For instance, Eve will tell you what we were able to do about getting her IDs.
I finally got all my family's birth certificates, my birth certificate, my birth certificate, I took them to the IDs, what they want. I finally got home, and I couldn't go to my school. So I was afraid, like, to take care of my family.
The really interesting thing about Eve, the reason she couldn't get services before she came to us is she had no ID. She had nothing. And you have to have an ID to get a birth certificate to get this and to move on. Well, one of our case managers is very good about troubleshooting this, and she said to Eve, you must have given a valid ID to someone in the last 2 years. Sure enough, a school in Arizona. We faxed it, the school sent us a copy, we were able to use that to get the birth certificate, we were able to use the birth certificate to get her ID, and she could actually pull it out of her purse, it came today. She has a valid state ID. So, are we done? Okay.
Board members.
Member Taylor, I just wanted to say, Jason, congratulations. We're very proud of you. It's nice that you came and spoke to us and shared your story, because it puts a face with a lot of numbers in these documents, and just very proud of you.
Thank you, Mr. Jameson. So, and congratulations to you both, and I know how emotional it is, and this is very helpful, right? And so the question I'm going to ask might sound a little, we've got a job to do as well. So I just want to make sure, because when I was looking at your application, I think you've already addressed a little bit of this. You really do work with everybody else that's back there. Because what I read in your application was that it's for 3 months. So my question is, then what happens after 3 months? Because when I look at this person, I know you've got 2 children, I'm hoping that it's not put out on the street in 3 months, because it's going to take a lot more than 3 months to get these two stable with their families.
That is correct.
So
And I'd love to
that's
answer
a
that
concern
question.
that I have.
We have a time frame. We look at ourselves as life skill coaches. So when someone comes in, we don't sit back and say we have a year to make it happen. We assess people at 30, 60, and 90. And we have never had a client at 90 days that wasn't moving into housing that didn't want to go there. We have about 20% of our clients fall flat on their face because they're not compliant with case management and other issues. If they really want to do it and they want to work with us, we can help them. Because we've been able to find housing through Women's Development Center, Traffic Charities, Homeless to Home, Lutheran Social Services, Women's Development, if I didn't mention them. We work with Connection to Home, we're one of the partners for that. For us, we don't see ourselves successful unless they're housed.
So then, just to clarify, you don't just let them go after 3 months,
No.
ensure that there's somewhere for them to go so that they can
Up to
ensure
12 months.
success.
Right, into housing, and we work with them in the housing portion. So if I gave you the impression it's for almost 3 months, I might have been wrong.
It's all right, it was just in the application.
Yeah.
The other follow-up, Renee? So it says 32,000 for 30 families, and so that's 60,066 per application. But you say in there that it's 1,889 per person, so what's the other 800 go for that you put in your application?
Well, I will tell you, I was a little confused with trying to make this division, but for instance, with this family, we have 2 dates spent $1,500 cash money on top of in-kind, and we're not done. So, I mean, it's an average between, usually runs about 1,800 when you divide it out, but it could be a couple thousand or more for other families for different circumstances.
All that really is getting back to staff and the capacity back to the application, so you've got this family not by name, but then what happens with them and then how much spend. And
Right.
for the success of the family.
And we also enter a lot of data into HMIS. We have 100% data quality there. And I run the stats and they show it by zip code. But we also have very nice files for each client. And every spring, Mr. Dixon from the city comes and audits us. And for the last 2 years, we've received very good audits. He actually looks at our charts.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Best of luck.
If I could, Tom McGrath, hi Terry.
Hi.
To clarify, you're one of 2 or 3 nonprofits that keeps the family intact, correct?
Almost the only one anymore because the Breast Commission had to close their family shelter, I believe. I believe it was, they had to close it to some degree. They don't do single fathers anymore. We're the only one that can keep a single father together with their child, and also the one that keeps the family intact. They don't sleep in separate rooms at night by gender. And we help same-gendered families. We do work with the center. We work on special cases.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Pappas,
Thank you.
I want to sneak this in there real quick. I want to thank you two for coming in. It takes a lot of strength and a lot of bravery to keep your family together with what you've gone through, to find the help that you need, to accept the help that you need, and then to come here and sit in front of all of us. We really appreciate you coming. It's so helpful for us to see that firsthand impact of what these agencies do. It's so helpful. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. For you guys, for what you do.
You're welcome.
And we're out of time. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, I'd like to invite Help of Southern Nevada to come up. In the interest of time, I'm just going to remind you real quick, state your name, spell your last name, speak loudly for the record and for the audience. Thank you so much for joining us.
Full disclosure, United Way gives money to help the Southern Nevada. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you very much for having us. My name is Jennifer Barcelona, B as in Victor, Arsallona, and I am Help of Southern Nevada Emergency Resource Service Manager. Along with me here is Shelley Torres, our CFO, and then Claudina McKinnon, who is a client at the Shannon West Homeless Youth Center. The funding that we're requesting would be for both emergency resource services as well as for the Shannon West Homeless Youth Center. Since the last week when we did our ESG presentation, I talked more about our ERS department. Today I was going to spend a little bit more time on the Shannon West Homeless Youth Center, since that's where Claudina is currently at. But again, this request would be for both. For emergency resource services, it would be for a staff salary as well as for IDs, birth certificates, and bus passes for the clients in both programs. The Shannon West Homeless Youth Center, for those of you that don't know, is located on Poor Master Lane in the homeless corridor, and they service homeless youth ages 16 to 24. They provide intensive case management as well as substance abuse counseling and mental health counseling, life skills training, and then we're also funded through WIA, where we're able to provide work experience and on-the-job training for the youth and help them to overcome whatever barriers or obstacles to obtain a high school diploma, preferably, but if they're not on target for that, then it would be their GED. At our point in time count for 2014, there were 742 unsheltered, unaccompanied youth under the age of 18. Last year, 2014, the Shannon West Homeless Youth Center provided services to 246 youth. That's about a third of the youth that are out there homeless on the street will in one way or another come in contact with the Shannon West Homeless Youth Center, whether it's for emergency shelter services, substance abuse counseling, life skills, or some other supportive service. And I'll go ahead and let Claudina speak to you and share about her story and experience.
Hi, I'm Claudina Michelle. I'm 20 years old. This is currently my second year in UNLV. I took off my second semester as a freshman due to the fact that I had to relocate with my family. I've stayed financially we could not afford to live in the city. And so I reached out to some of my friends, and one of them allowed me to stay with them. It was supposed to be the entire semester, but unfortunately it didn't really work out. So I moved from the Eagle Suite to Shannon West within 4 days in the middle of midterm, and I really wanted to finish that semester. Took forth time and energy, and I moved 2,000 miles to finish it. So I'm here. I've been here since October at Shannon West. I like it here. Come here and hopefully I will find employment full time so that I can stay over the summer, get some experience, and work towards under my belt. The Shannon West, I never would have thought that I would have ever been there for my entire life, but I find that it's under these circumstances, I'm very fortunate. Because I mean, I can look outside of my window and see people shooting outside, and it's heart-wrenching. And I know the staff were very, very heartwarming. They help us with money management activities that we do every Monday. They help us with, if we need assistance with getting a resume together, printing out assignments for class, taking us to school if we are running behind because we are out of bus passes. They're willing to put the effort along with our motivation and our efforts. It's definitely a life changer being there, and hopefully I will be able to get by on my own 2 feet soon. We definitely wish everyone would attend over and see the interviews. They're really informed me of what's going on in our society. I hope to play a bigger role in it when I get out there after school.
Thank you so much.
Board Member Jimenez, she's 20, so is this up until she'll get help up until she's 21?
Up until age 21 is typically the age we're a SAFTA certified transitional housing, so we're able to go up until age 24, but typically it's up until 21. And what we try to do is, like she mentioned about the money management, they have a savings account where they can save money, and then we help to transition them into their own apartment, or if they're not ready, with other community service providers, or through the emergency resource department that I manage, we're able to move them into a different housing program that's going to better suit their needs after they turn 21.
I was just wondering to make sure that she's okay.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
So along those lines, Member Jamison, so then what happens? So who do you work with? So if they have to be over 21, potentially 24, then what is the next step? And how do you ensure that your work success? What outcome is it? Who do you partner with?
For the most part, I think, I wish Kelly was here because she'd have exact numbers for you, but for the most part, what we've seen is most of the youth, because they're required to participate in an 80/20 savings program. For any income that they receive, they're required to set aside 80% in their savings account. 20% is theirs to spend. If they have any bills or anything, any expenses that come up, they work with their case manager in order to make requests for the additional money that they may need. So most of them have enough money saved up, so that way they can move out on their own. I used to be, so I'm going to defer to Shelley.
So it's just an apartment, so you can invest into regular apartments?
Citibank also does a program where if a youth has a goal set of saving a certain amount of money, Citibank matches that dollar for dollar. So to $1,000, so they have enough money to move into their own apartment. Plus with the 18 MOUs that we have with apartment complexes in the community, lots of the apartments will allow them to move in with no application fee, no security deposit, and then through other funding that we receive in our homeless services department and in our emergency resource department, typically we're able to house them ourselves just in a different program, not necessarily through the youth center. And then when that doesn't work, then we look to outside agencies for further assistance.
What's the average length of stay that a client will stay in your program? Let's assume you get them at 16. What's the average length of stay before they transition out and you consider it a success?
I would say that the average stay is probably a year. For them coming in the doors, and then it's going to vary individual to individual based on their age, their barriers, and whatnot. But typically, most of them stay about it.
Sorry? We hear a lot about human trafficking, about those kinds of dangers in the valley. I'm assuming you have security. I'm assuming you do education with your clients to make sure that they're better protected against falling prey to predators or myths.
Absolutely. The youth center is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And we have residential monitors who do room checks all throughout the night. And it is a gated facility with security cameras. And we do staff training as well as do our best through case management to make sure that residents there are aware of their surroundings at all times. Absolutely.
Member Taylor, I can't remember, did you say you had a waiting list or what that was?
No, the capacity is 60 youth at the youth center at the current moment. There isn't a waiting list. They come into emergency shelter and then they transition into transitional housing. So that they're really good.
Thank you. We're out of time. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. It's going to be very easy to sit here and listen to speak to us. We really appreciate it again, having a face to put to all of this. It's so incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
For anybody who just came in, please make sure you sign in. There's a sign-in sheet on the side. We need you to print your name for the record. Thank you very much. Next up, any guests, anybody who comes in, guests, everybody needs to sign in, please. Next up, we have Hunt Ridge team. Come on up. Hi, welcome. You heard the whole 10, 5, 3 minute spiel? Okay, great. Just speak up, spell your last name for the record. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Good afternoon. My name is Annette Lincicome. That's Lincicome. I am the dental program manager at the Hunt Ridge Teen Clinic, and today I'm filling in for my executive director, Steve Williams, who's out of the country. He's the author of the application. So, yikes!
Me.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I guess the application was for $15,000 for the Hunt Ridge Homeless Dental Program. And that's an adult program that's an adjunct actually to the teen programs that go on at the Hunt, that's been ongoing at the Hunt Ridge Teen Clinic since 1994, I think is when the clinic first opened. But this program, this adult homeless program, dental program, was actually started in November of 2007, kind of as a reaction to the events that took place at the homeless stand down in Cashman Center that year. The dental van was surrounded by a line. It was overwhelmed. The need for dental care for the homeless is pretty awful. Sorry, excuse me. I also get pretty emotional. I apologize. And so my Steve Williams, our executive director, was there representing Hunt Ridge Teen Clinic, giving out information to the homeless teens in that area, and observed this line around the dental van, and got into a conversation and spoke to another dental person from a group that we were also part of, the Community Coalition for Oral Health. And they said, the two of them were standing there talking and said, there's got to be something that we can do. And so the Hunt Ridge Teen Clinic, and in conjunction with some of these other members of the Community Coalition for Oral Health, got together, and the Hunt Ridge has offered its facility. It is the site for these adult homeless clinics, and we provide the site as well as the supplies that are used on the day. And I then am also the coordinator of that program and the contact for the homeless. My phone number is the one they call. My personal cell phone number actually is the phone number for this program. And so I take the calls from the homeless people and help them get into this program. UNLV provides the student dentists to do the work for these homeless people for free. And then they also provide the dental faculty supervisor, Dr. Rick Syriac, who's there with us every time. The goal of the program is to help recovering drug and alcohol addicts restore their mouths to a condition where they can seek gainful employment and get back into a productive lifestyle, help them succeed with their recovery. And, there's that old, it's kind of like the chicken or the egg. Does he have no job because he has no teeth, or is he unable to fix his teeth because he has no job? And that it really becomes a huge barrier to employment for these people who are trying to recover and trying to get themselves back on track. The secondary goal, though, of this program is kind of interesting because it's there to nurture the philosophy for giving back to the community on the part of professionals, so that these dental students that are doing this work realize how important it is to get back to the community once they become professionals and within their own private practice. Most of the people who come into the program are in such a state that cases are very, very complicated, and almost all of them require denture, full dentures or partial dentures at least. And that takes quite a long time. Once they get into the program, it's usually 9 months to a year, and we meet one Saturday every month. So it's one full Saturday every month. And so it's usually about a year's worth of treatment before they get all their work done once they get into the program. I guess that's probably, I can stop there and you guys can ask me questions if there's something else you need to know.
Member McCoy.
Can you elaborate on why they're giving partial dentures and full dentures?
Okay, you've misunderstood. The program that's asking for the money is adults. Okay, not our teenagers. I see virtually no dentures in my teen program. Okay, happily. And that's exactly why I'm there, to prevent that from happening. Okay.
There's also the health implications of having good teeth, never mind the personal image. It can severely impact somebody's health if their teeth are bad.
And it does. That's the worst part of it, actually, that you see as they come into this clinic. To say it sounds kind of gross, but it's kind of a stinky day. The homeless clinic is a stinky day around the clinic because there is a lot of not only decay of the teeth, but then once the severe decay leads to infections and abscesses and a lot of I don't think there's probably any Saturday that goes by that we don't have prescriptions for infections and that sort of thing. So yes, you're absolutely correct. These people are battling a lot.
First of all, I want to thank you for working with the Community Coalition of Oral Health. They're amazing, and I think that's a terrific, perfect partnership for what you guys are doing. This to me is really a wraparound service for one need that this individual might have for other employment and all of that. I didn't read in your application, and you didn't write it, but if you can, how do you get referrals, and what other agencies do you work with to ensure that, so if they are being housed on temporary or permanent housing and they need those other services, what's the collaboration
For a period of time, originally with this program, we did have, through the Community Coalition for Oral Health, all the referrals to this program had to come from one of the other members of the coalition. So a lot of times the Salvation Army and different ones would actually join the coalition just so they could access our services. However, that's not really the case now, and really the way we get referrals is through some of those, we don't require that anymore, obviously. We've taken that requirement away. So now those same agencies that used to have to be a member of Community Coalition for Oral Health in order to refer also already know about us, and so they inform their clients of my phone number. My phone number's out there. And then actually the people in the program itself are probably our biggest resource for referral. They, my friend needs this, that sort of thing. And then as far as us helping them find other services, I think we're actually, dental comes at the end almost, because they almost have to have a stable enough home. They already have to have a place to stay, and some of the other resources that we've been hearing about today in order for their oral health to get addressed. People need almost always put their oral health at the very back of the line.
Without insurance, that sometimes if there's that option, but I would just ask that you take back to your executive director. I do think that that's important. It's a critical component to have it available out there, and then those that are providing medical services to make a person whole. I just hope that there's a true collaboration, and so that there's a greater amount of success for individuals to become sustainable. Thank you for what you do.
Member Taylor, what type of outreach are you doing with other dentists in town that may want to participate? Maybe they don't know about it, you know what I'm saying? They may want to participate and help out and dedicate their time.
This particular program is actually a collaboration of the Hunt Ridge Team Clinic with the UNLV School of Dental Medicine, and there's really not a lot of opportunity for the dentists in the community to help with that. However, the Hunt Ridge Team Clinic itself, our ongoing program for teenagers, has a pool of local dentists, and that's where we tap into that local talent and that local help. That's the program that we've got. So this today is just about the Adult Homeless Project, was really utilizes just UNLV personnel for the restorative, but the Hunt Ridge Team Clinic, my kids get help
That's
from
good.
from the dentists in the community, and they're great people, you guys. Oh my goodness.
Then I just want to, I thank you for what you're doing. People, we always forget this kind of thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Colton.
You did good.
You did really.
Okay, I'd like to invite Nevada Health Centers to come up and join us. You can just remember to state your name, spell your last name, and welcome. Speak up for the audience.
Thank you. Catch that up.
Not a bit. Just for our audience, the reason we're trying to rush through is this room gets used at 5 o'clock for an ESL class, and so we're trying to fly through so we can get everybody heard, give everybody their time, and get out of here before we get home.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome, thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Jeannie, Jeannie, Bysseg, and I'm the grants writer at Nevada Health Centers.
And I'm Michelle Terry, MCGLE, and I'm a lead dental assistant for Nevada Health Centers.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for inviting us here today. We are coming in to request $20,000 to fund our homeless dental services that we provide at our Eastern Dental Center. I want to give you a little bit of background. If you're not familiar with Nevada Health Centers, we operate 16 health centers statewide, with 7 of those in rural areas, and 6 of those are located located within the Southern Nevada area. We have a health facility in Carson City, the Sierra Health Center, and we also have health centers in Armagosa Valley and Beatty. We have 2 dental centers statewide, one in Elko and one in Las Vegas, which is Eastern. Our program that we're asking for funding for is our health care for the homeless, our dental services. We provide outreach services to the homeless at our Las Vegas Outreach Clinic. We have 3 health centers basically that center the Las Vegas homeless corridor epicenter. And those health centers are the Las Vegas Outreach Clinic, the Martin Luther King Health Center, which is kind of in the northwest corner. And then we have the Eastern Dental Center, which is kind of in the southeastern area of the city. And these centers work together. With this proposal, we primarily triage the patients, the homeless patients at the Las Vegas Outreach Clinic, which is where we operate our homeless medical services. We do not provide dental services there, so patients are transported to our outreach den or provided with bus vouchers to go to the Eastern facility. When we have a patient that is in need of dental services, they are connected with either our clinical social worker or our case worker that can work with that patient to make sure that they have the resources to go to the facility for services. And, with this program, we're indicating that we can serve 19 homeless individuals at about $1,000 each. We've put $1,000 for patient transportation. This is some funding to help run our outreach van. Our outreach van was donated by the MGM Resorts Foundation a couple of years ago. So, we're looking for just a little bit of funding there to help cover some fuel costs to get the patients back and forth, and then some funding for the bus vouchers. And, as indicated, we're trying to serve at least 19 homeless individuals with a variety of dental services. This could be anything from cleanings, fillings, crowns, partials, dentures if needed. We're seeing the need is just across the board with the patients that we have. And we do have some limited funding from MGM for dental, but that does not cover any partials and it does not cover any dentures. So right now we don't have any funding for those types of services. And we have quite a few homeless patients that are in need of the partials and the dentures because they're job hunting or trying to improve their employment situation to become self-sufficient. And this is a great barrier because of the appearance, their ability to speak in the interview. There's just a lot of things there with they have lower self-esteem because of their teeth issues. We found that with the new Medicaid expansion, the Medicaid expansion, as great as it is for medical coverage for a lot of these individuals, it only covers extraction. And we're finding that a lot of the homeless patients don't come in until they're at in-crisis level and have to have extraction because they want to keep their teeth as long as possible. So that's really kind of a difficult thing. And we're finding some of the older homeless that Medicare doesn't cover dental at all. So these patients have absolutely no resources for these type of services. So we are asking for your support today for this program.
Thank you so much. Board members.
Yes, Jimenez. So it's 19 and we just heard the need is big. So how would you choose the 19? Is it a waiting list or is it whoever needs it the most? Or how do you guys choose?
We maintain a waiting list right now. We have around 70 patients or so. I think our proposal indicated 77. We've pretty much exhausted our MGM funding from last year. It goes pretty quickly. We triage the patients with the greatest need are served first. We try to provide as many services that we can. We probably attest to the fact that, we try to get the patient out of crisis and out of pain. That's our primary goal. And then we look for other sources to help with other restorative services. Can you add anything to that, Michelle?
Yeah. By the time the patients come to our clinic, they already have the symptoms. So they're already in need for special conditions. So when they come to our clinic and they do the extractions, that makes them really. And a lot of them have health problems because they have a lot of bacteria in their mouth. A lot of our senior patients that come, they're not able to eat healthy food because they don't have teeth to eat. And it's kind of sad to see that, and it's really no help that you can offer too. And a lot of our patients are working age, so they're looking for jobs, and when you don't have any to achieve, you really don't want to talk, and you don't feel comfortable talking to people. So a lot of them are looking for jobs in these fields.
True spirit of collaboration, the ones that just spoke prior to you, right? Are you working with the Hunt Ridge Clinic, and are you working with the Community Coalition on Oral Health? Because we're asking for 20,000, but I'm just thinking if there's to increase resources and not duplicate efforts and really have that allow you all to figure out something else to do, and there's somebody else already doing that. What cooperation are you doing with those two entities specifically?
We do collaborate with these two entities. I know Dr. Tyree Davis, who's our dental director, is very active in the, he works with the coalition statewide. He works with other dental partners within the area. So I know that he's very active in collaborating to make sure that, we don't duplicate efforts and that we serve as many patients as possible. What we're seeing is this is such great need. We're not seeing patients that come in and need crowns. They need a crown because they've never had one, or, they need a replacement tooth because they've had those pulled. So we're not seeing a lot of duplication with our patients that I'm aware of. Michelle?
And I need in some cases of patients being suggested that they pull their own tooth. And referring to, she left, the lady from the Teen Hunters Clinic, when she was talking about the dental day in 2007 at the Cashman Center, that was our dental band. And there were so many people there that needed dental services, and we weren't able to. No, we don't have it any longer.
We do have a dental band. It is now funded by charities primarily. Operates in northeastern Nevada in remote rural areas. And it serves children, school-age children.
Hi, Tom McGrath. If I could ask, I travel rural Nevada, and I visited the facility in Amargosa Valley. Is the one in Beatty, is that a self-standing unit, or where is that located?
I'm not extremely familiar with Beatty myself, but
I mean, it's not a large community,
No,
but I'm looking for it the next time I go.
we try to locate our facilities in as many areas as we can. The easiest locations for patients to get to. So typically a lot of times in shopping centers. We have a few that are located in strip malls. Some that are located near shopping centers. So we're primarily concerned with access.
Thank you both so much for joining us and for what you do. Thank you. I'd like to invite the Salvation Army up to join us.
Disclosure, United Way provides the FSP 92 coverage for consumers.
All right, that was the beginning of my spiel for you guys. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Go for it.
Good afternoon. Thank you again for the opportunity to be before you to do this presentation. My name is Philip Holland. I'm the Director of Social Services for the Salvation Army. And joining me this afternoon is LaVon Lewis, our Director of Philip Holland, Phillip, Hollon. I'm Director of Social Services for the Salvation Army. And joining me is LaVon Lewis.
LaVonne, last name Lewis.
Angela Delgado, a vocational training program graduate. You'll spell your
DELGADO.
and Darius Jefferson, a vocational training program participant. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here. The Salvation Army is one of the oldest and longest continual providers of social services in Southern Nevada, serving our community since 1946. Our vocational training program is available to help men and women, regardless of race, religion, creed, or sexual orientation, transition from homelessness to a higher level of productive independent living. Our program provides a continuum of care, commencing with meeting basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, establishing a level of trust, and culminating with increasing the participant's capacity to achieve self-sufficiency and maintain independent living. Each client enters the program with different circumstances, education and skill level, attitude, and physical and mental condition, and therefore may require a variety of services to prepare them for self-sufficiency. Our program provides both men and women participants a safe and clean, comfortable environment to live and learn. Vocational participants have access to 3 meals daily, intensive case management, spiritual services, and a vast array of supportive services to help restore dignity and self-confidence. We are also very proud of our partnership with Nevada Health Centers, which has a medical clinic in the heart of our campus, providing free medical services for our program participants. Together, thanks to your funding recommendation last year, we were able to move the needle and make a difference in our community. Our funding was projected to serve 10 clients, and throughout the past 8 months, we've already served 8, demonstrating 80% of projected outcomes with 4 months still to go. Our $250,000 funding request will enable us to serve a minimum of 100 clients. The funds will be utilized to provide housing while participants attend vocational training classes, become job ready, provides for intensive case management and coach clients, and assists direct program costs. We know from our community research that homelessness and joblessness are inextricably linked. Simply stated, it is difficult to interview for a job if you don't have a place to take a shower or access to a clean pair of clothes. Likewise, it is hard to maintain a job if you don't have a regular place to sleep, a way to store tools or supplies, and regular transportation. Homeless men and women in our community want a hand up, not a handout, and are eager to work provided they are given the training, support, and opportunity. I would like to share that while the Salvation Army is an international organization celebrating 150 years of service with deep roots in our communities around the world, local programs such as this must cover their own operational expenses through local private donations and grants. We would greatly appreciate the opportunity to once again partner with the City of Las Vegas. We invite you to take a tour of our facilities, become a mentor to our work program participants, serve meals in our dining room, and change the lives of the men, women, and children we serve daily through various programs in Southern Nevada. Our volunteers are critical partners in helping us fulfill our promise to America of doing the most good. I'd now like to introduce Angela to share some about the vocational training program.
Hi, I graduated the culinary Barber J in basic history October 29, 2014. I've been in Las Vegas for 9 months, that's in California, a military family. And also, I had no teeth when I got here. Well, I didn't have a top, and I wasn't so much scared to talk, but I knew that it would bother me. I felt that I just tried. They helped me trust in people. I was this type of person because I've been abused and raped and molested, that they helped me get my self-trust in people. Now I don't live there anymore. I have my spot because I got married there January 29th. And also, I'm still attending school. That's another time I could talk. So I'm there. So, you know, I'm going for culinary arts and it's a culinary arts degree. And these knives were given to me by them because I finished. So I got to continue on. And I feel better about myself, you know, having my dentures that I got from the Medicaid that Nevada gave me. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I'm a recovering addict, alcoholic. I stood up in drugs one day. I mean, I wasn't trained like that from my parents, but it just happened, you know, because of what I went through. And I had counseling and mental health since 1975 to now, and I expected it to die. So the day I die, I'm going to work somehow, somewhere. And maybe someday get these tattoos off of me, because I have tattoos, but not because of gang relationships, because I like to draw. So, I don't know anything else to say, but I know they help me out, and I don't know, I feel like I'm a person, like I'm a girl, like accepted into society. And one day I want to open my own place and help women that have problems with alcohol and drugs. And I want to give back to the United States, California, from the United States, so that I was born in Casa Los Reyes.
Thank you. Board members.
What is your best dish? I am so serious. I'm inspired. The fact that you want to give back after what you've gone through, and that's driving you, and that's your motivation. I mean, that's the kind of restaurant I would tell my colleagues, hey, we can't say we're about it, and my students, we can't just say we're about extending ourselves. Here's somebody, they're extending something, we need to pay it forward for that. So I've seen the what do you cook?
I left my menu at the, I have my menu right here.
Oh, my God.
That's what we cooked today. I did the chicken with the pasta and the mushroom and
Supervisor Pappas, I know you've been here for a while, so I know you've heard me say this before, but I know there's a lot of strength and a lot of bravery to come here and sit in front of us. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Like Carmen said, you're not using what you've been through as an excuse. You're using it as a reason to stand up and as a reason to move forward and be an inspiration to other people. Thank you to the Salvation Army to do that.
Member Taylor, was it Mr. Jefferson?
Sorry?
Was it Jefferson?
Yes.
I was hoping you could say something during this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darius Jefferson, and I'm very pleased to speak on behalf of the Salvation Army and the vocational program. I can't sit back here and tell you that I've been through any of that. Sometimes being in transition is not necessarily a matter of the things that you've gone through that you make it, but a lot of times it's just a matter of circumstance. I was a truck driver in Georgia. I decided two things. I wanted to get off the truck, and I wanted to move to Las Vegas. Well, the only problem is I don't know anybody here. So I was going to have to be somewhere. And when I got here back in March, I heard about the vocational program. And being in the vocational program, I didn't choose to go through the culinary program because I realized that I'm much better at teaching than cooking. So, but I did choose to go into a job search, which you can actually do from there. During my time there, they presented to me avenues that, for me, never being in a shelter before, and never, having to access this, I never knew anything about. Things that enabled me not to only get one job, but to secure another one as well. As with any program, there's not one that exists that can work without the collaboration of the program and the people. So there are things that you have to bring with you as well, as an individual. Because I knew what I wanted to do, I just needed to be involved in a program that was actually going to allow me to have the resources to do it. The vocational program there and the staff that's there is truly excellent. Excuse me, I've got a cold. I'm hoping that's in transition too. So I'm very grateful to have been able to be a part of the vocational program. And it has really benefited me during the time that I've been here.
We have a minute and a half left. Board members, questions?
What other programs within the vocational program do you have? You have culinary, you have job search, what else?
Medical billing is really big right now in terms of sending people out to medical billing and training. There are some of the stuff that you are working with. Have you been in terms of other kind of vocational programs in terms of?
No, I haven't. I haven't gotten into any other vocational programs at the moment. I know pretty much what I want to do. It's just a matter of me It's just a matter of getting where I need to be to do it. The vocational program has set me up for that. Right now, I'm currently in job search, and currently I work for the Salvation Army. It's funny, but when you get there, if you've never been in a shelter before, you hear a lot of misconceptions about what a shelter actually is. I mean, I'll be honest, when I got downstairs that, I thought maybe I should have brought my father's shotgun or something. I didn't know, but when you get there, you actually see what's going on there. There's a part of you that actually, you start to invest in the people that are there because you start to understand the situation and the surroundings in which you're in. So, as I never thought that I would work at the Salvation Army, but after being there, I understood after that time that I had a vested interest in exactly, what they were doing too.
We have assessment tools for like hospitality to help us in terms of directing to hospitality or truck driving, things along those lines as well.
And
Thank you so
Yep,
much.
perfect.
Appreciate both of you. Thank you so much for joining us, for coming and speaking to us. We really appreciate it. Good luck. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, I'd like to invite Cher, DBA Veterans Village, up to join us. I'm sorry? Cher, okay. Cher, with Veterans Village.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Anybody who just came in, if you haven't, please make sure that you sign in. We need everybody who's here to sign in, print your name. When you come up, we're going to do, when you come up, you'll have 2 minutes to speak. Sean will warn you at 3 and she'll stop you at 5 so that we have time to ask questions. And anytime at the end you can fill in. Make sure you speak up and state your name and spell your last name for the record. Are they coming in?
They are.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Yeah.
So now I don't have to do the spiel for the next one because I just did it. That's right. Hi, come on in. Welcome. Okay, so if you guys didn't get a chance to sign in, make sure you sign in on your way out, please. Print your name. You're going to have 10 minutes to speak. Sean will give you a warning at 3 and she'll stop you at 5 so that we have time to ask questions. And if there's time at the end, you can fill it in. Please make sure you state your name and spell your last name for the record and speak up for the recording. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for the opportunity for us to be here today. I am Arnold Stock, ARNOLDSTALK, and I'm founder of Veterans Village in downtown Las Vegas. And
I'm Judy Lynn Schuler, JUDYLYNNSCHULER, and I'm the financial controller for the nonprofit.
so again, thank you for having us here today. And Veterans Village is a respite for United States veterans. It's a transitional housing facility where we have some permanent housing residents that are older veterans, with a particular emphasis on veterans that are hard to house, those that don't qualify for other federal programs and other veteran programs. Also independent pays. And we also have an emphasis for veterans with HIV or AIDS and also female veterans. Is a big concern of ours in the population not being served currently in Southern Nevada. Our partners, and the reason that I want to talk about our partners just a bit, include Help USA, US Vet, Salvation Army, Shade Tree, Catholic Charities, Goodwill Southern Nevada, Las Vegas Rescue Mission. I'm feeling a little bad today, so I'll bear with me just for a second. And we work with a lot of elected official offices. We get a lot of veterans in their offices. We work with people really all over the country through the U.S. Las Vegas USO. We're here today because we initially asked for a grant amount of $195,000 to house 9,750 bed nights, which is $20 a night. There's no other place that we know of where you can get all the services that we have and for $20 a night, including food and all the access to jobs through our relationship with the Home Depot Foundation with goodwill, with workforce connections. And I think if we're a very grassroots organization, I think we're the consummate collaborator. In many instances, we don't fit in because we're up to date now. We're completely privately funded, or our veterans have some veteran benefits. We have an emergency housing fund where we house our vets who've gone through to date very minimal contributions. We've managed to get a grant from the Home Depot Foundation to completely redo our facility, which we've done. And we're a 3-square provider. And we have partnerships with Whole Foods and other markets, Trader Joe's, and the like. We have a lot of mainly volunteer doing it. We have very few paid staff. We haven't asked for any funds at all for staff. It goes right into just housing. There's no overhead. There's no other benefits that are associated with this grant request. I toiled with this a lot. I came to Las Vegas over 20 years ago as a housing director here. Had been involved or on the board of most of the agencies that help the homeless here, or help raise funds, quite a bit in fact. And it's been an honor to be not only a resident here, a parent here, and a business person here, but to watch the good work that these other agencies do. It's truly remarkable that we don't hear enough about the shade trees and I'm going to leave people out, Catholic Charities, the Salvation Armies, the Nevada Hand, the Touro University Medical Band, which we're part of. But I have to tell you, and I've given this a lot of thought, that we're going to withdraw our grant application. I can't consciously go home tonight knowing that we are competing with our brothers and sisters, our other nonprofit agencies, with an extremely minimal amount of money to compete for the same funds. I thought about this long and hard. I asked a couple of my mentors. I want to withdraw the application. These other agencies do remarkable work, and I just can't see going up against them and taking their funds because they would suffer. There's agencies on here that have been doing this. When I first came to Catholic Charities over 20 years ago, there was over 300 guys sleeping in the for those of you who remember this or here, in the tarmac in a tent city. There was about 150 guys sleeping up in the attic. The shade tree was in a shambles on the corner of North Main and Owens. My architectural firm was retained by the city and the county to do a housing needs study for all of Southern Nevada, and we did. We took a lot of flack. I did a project called the Nash Project, and we just received it was a very, very hard-fought project because I've always fought for what I believe in, and that's helping people. It's not creating an agency. It's not creating another bureaucracy. So we just want to be that agency that helps other agencies house people.
Right. Sir, I have a list of questions for you, but I guess I'll hold off. And housing, homeless veterans is very near and dear to my heart. If I could just ask, where your housing now is the old travel line, correct?
It is, and we completely converted it and got its own SRO housing facility. I didn't mention U.S. Vet. Much in the way U.S. Vets or the other agents help USA zone.
Member Taylor, just clarification for staff. Is there any precedence for this?
We've had agents, Sean Wolf, staff, we've had agencies withdraw before the process, during the process. We've had agencies that made that after the process. It was the first one.
It's the first one you said.
Mr. Stocker, very commendable thing for you to do. I'm probably just as much shocked as some of the other board members.
You can breathe now. It's okay.
I'm an emotional guy, and I love all these other agencies. If I had it my way, and I could find the money, we couldn't give them, in my mind, enough money to operate because we're open 24/7. We've never closed our lobby since we opened. And I see the suffering every single day that people have in Las Vegas. Right or wrong, homeless, for whatever reason, I can't turn them away. And so there's a price that's paid for that. It's a lot of gray hair and a lot of hours into it, but these agencies are wonderful people. You know, I saw Marlene Richter when I walked in here. You know, I was on the board of the Shade Tree. I was across the street when we got the first grant from Kaufman and Broad before they became Be Home, and we painted, all of us, including the mayor, Mayor Jones, we painted it, we got it just Band-Aided together, and then we got across the street. So, I didn't mean to digress, but.
You're welcome.
You applied for the funding, so I guess my question would be to you is that it was because you needed it, so then what happens now that you have withdrawn? How are the homeless veterans to be provided for? And do you fill out? I guess it's working for you that are all, what do they do now that you withdraw?
That's a really good question. We have 125 units, and people are there under 3 different structures. Number one, we do have some vets over there that self-pay. They want to transition out of there, they have some money, we Band-Aid it together for a few months or 6 months, and then they move on to permanent housing. Then there's those that have a pension. They actually have the VA money. But for a lot of them, they can't get their ID card out of the VA. So we will raise money through small contributions to keep them housed. We just finished housing a vet that was with us for 4 months. He's been living in the streets. He's 82 years old. Down on Fort Master, which is a whole other issue. And we took him in, and we got him healthy, and we got his meds, and his money came through. And if you come, and I invite anybody who'd like to come down. We're open 24/7. Come down when I'm not there, and just see the camaraderie in the lobby and amongst the people there. So we Band-Aid it together. I put it out of my own money. That gap is one of the big problems in the veteran delivery service. Is that gap between the time that they come off the streets and we can get them funded in some way. Help of Southern Nevada is fantastic with us. You know, we Band-Aid it. We get on the phone, we call around, we see who can house them, which business can support a vet for 6 months.
Yeah.
Mary Jane, I guess I just want to, boy, there's thousands of things to say.
Never happened in school, by the way, never.
So I've known Mr. Stalk for many, many years, and I served on the safety board and when it was in that, before the new one was built. So I've known him for a long time. But I guess to Member McCoy's question, may I continue? I'm sorry, I know I'm getting buzzed.
We're sucking us on time.
So the only thing I want to say is that we just want to ensure that veterans are being served, because that's crucial for us. And what I know about what we do, that will continue to happen. What I'm hoping is the conversation we've had today is that now that you've pulled that out, that everybody else who does end up getting funded through these funds ensures that they do help support as much as you can when there's a veteran situation. So I would hope that there's going to be a collaboration and discussion for all the agencies that are going to get the money to ensure that if there's a veteran, that they work with them to do so.
We have to, I'm sorry, we have to. I'm sorry, time, the Beavers, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
You rendered a speech, this never happens to you. Thank you for referring to people.
I know, somebody has to wake up call.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.
I'd like to invite St. Jude's Branch for Children of Nevada Region. Welcome. State your name, spell your last name. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for having us here today. My name is Maisha Wilson. I'm the Executive Director of St. Louis Bank for Children, and that's Maisha, M-Y-E-S-H-A, Wilson, W-I-L-S-O-N.
And I'm Mark Whitley, Chief Financial Officer of St. Jude's. That's M-A-R-K-W-H-I-T-L-E-Y.
Denise Charles, Program Manager for Crossings, D-E-N-I-S-E-C-H-A-R-L-E-S.
Steven Jacobez, Client of Crossings, S-T-E-P-H-E-N-J-A-C-O-B-E-S.
Great, so we're going to try to get through our presentation because we're getting kicked out. We wanted to thank you guys for the opportunity to talk to you about St. Jude's and about our program. St. Jude's has been around for about 50 years. We're coming up on our 50-year anniversary. We're really excited about that. Most know us for foster care. We've been in that business for a really long time. One thing that we've seen in the community is that once we do really good with foster care, but then the kids, after they leave, they're excited to exit foster care. They try to go out on their own, and then they don't make it. They have no connection to the community, so then they end up homeless. About 2.5 years ago, we began a crossing program, which is a transitional housing program for young people that are 18 to 24. And Denise Charles, she is our live-in program manager, superstar staff. I always sing her praises because she has been with the program since groundbreaking. So Denise, please can you tell us about the program?
Crossings is supportive transitional housing for young adults ages 18 to 25. There are 16 apartments on site at the time. 16 are occupied by clients and one for myself and family. We provide incentive case management for those young adults that struggle with mental illness, drug addiction, alcohol addiction. We have worked with clients in the past that have been human trafficking victims or former prostitutes. There's incentive case management with helping young people with the basics, ID card, birth certificate, social security card, education plans, whether it be GED, high school diploma, employment out in the community, and at some point to actually purchase a car and move into college enrollment. Some of the clients that come into the program have been in the foster care system or even the juvenile detention center. We get a lot of transient young people who come to Vegas with friends. We have clients in the program that are from Tehran. They can be from California as far as Michigan right now that is in the program. So the young people that find us, either they go through Clark County Social Services, Word of Mouth, Shiny West, Shade Tree. It just all depends on the young person that's coming into the program. We like to focus on barriers and then build a young person up so they can be productive. So with that being said, I'll introduce Steven, who is a resident of the program, and this is Steven's second time in the program.
Okay. My name is Steven Jacobez. As you said, I grew up in California in the foster care system. I struggled with homelessness from 17 to now, and I've been in Shannon West, I've been in Catholic Charities, and you guys mentioned trust earlier. There's no one else I trust more than Denise and this program because I've seen tremendous change in my life as an adult. I've been able to achieve my ID, my health card, a lot of things that I wanted to achieve going forward in the program. But what didn't touch me most was the fact that they connected with me on a personal level. That allowed me to want to open up and, admit my problems. I am very prideful. So it was always been hard for me to accept the help that was given to me because of my pride and not wanting to acknowledge that I have problems. And her and the other staff members, as well as her husband, has taken me in, and I view them as my own family. I wouldn't trade them for nothing. So thank you guys for being there for me and giving me the support I needed.
What Steven did mention, this is the second time, as I mentioned, since he's been back in the program, he has obtained his sheriff's card, so he's currently working, as of today, he just offered 35 hours at Rock Security, which is night shift, so he was nervous and sweaty back there, because he has to be to work at 11 o'clock tonight.
So what our grant request is asking for $50,000 for the intensive case manager. Denise, she is the manager that's on staff. She is 24/7 with her husband and her 2 kids and her then we have 2 case managers that do senior citizens and the kids as well, and we make appointments with them. Like they stated, we always need help with getting those IDs, and there's tax money, especially when it comes to us. That is a big barrier where they can't get a job because they don't have an ID, so then we have to pay for the ID in order for them to get the job. And in our application to you, you've already had it, but last year we served about 108 individuals from the city of Las Vegas. Most of our residents come from Las Vegas. Thank you.
Board members' questions?
So, Member Jansen, I don't have any questions. I am a CASA, and I was there at the groundbreaking. I think the work that you all do is amazing. It's very practical, and I believe in it. Continues good luck. So I just have no accolades to say for I've seen the impact that you've made for that initial year of those foster children. So I give them all social services. So yours is an example of what I like to see for a community, so that the rest of us don't have to continue to as they age out. So I just love what you do.
Member McCoy, I'd like to congratulate you as well. But I was also curious because you mentioned some of the other agencies that Shannon West and Salvation Army. And I'd like to get from your perspective the differences between the two
Well, one of them is I trust Denise and them a lot more. The environment was a little different. This allowed for a more independent environment. Having a roommate there was a little different for me. Being able to learn to get along with other peers. I don't want to speak bad about it, but I just think that it's better all around in all around areas being at Crossings.
One thing I didn't mention really quick was that it is a single room occupancy, so it looks like an apartment. It looks like either a home or an apartment. Each unit has a kitchenette, so there's 15. So like Stephen said, there is no roommate. You don't have a roommate, you have your own. They have to pay rent to do the living about 30% of their income. Then when they leave the program, we refund that money back to them so that they can either have 6 months, we encourage them to pay 6 months to their new apartment, buy a car, just so that they can maintain that permanency. So all that money goes back to them when they leave the program, so they don't pay us at all.
Just a point, I've been impressed by the past 2 weeks, and the search is on for a new CEO. We found anybody?
We're still in talks with our board. That's one of the reasons why I really wanted to have an array of people that changes is not just about one person. There are a lot of great people that are doing really hard work every single day. Mark and I, we are actively in the parking garage with the board on the meeting, on the way there. So yes, we are definitely looking for local leadership.
And a local board.
And a local board. So if anyone would like to contact me or Mark, I would greatly appreciate it.
The majority of your board is in Texas, with the exception of one individual in Nevada. But I'd like to see more representation. Local. You're asking for money from us, and I think that's one of the things I'd like to see.
I'll be sure that sentiment is shared, and
Sure.
we agree with you.
Right.
I would agree with that comment.
Question. Your intensive case management, can you tell me kind of what that is? I'm hearing from the young gentleman what the things that he was dealing with and the opportunity of a single living space. And then I'm also thinking about the young women and about where we live and what are the issues that we deal with as a community in terms of trafficking, in terms of choice, in terms of educational avenues. And when I hear case management and will we provide this, that's nice. And I think right now I'm kind of at the point where kind of tell me what distinctly, like, is it group therapy, is it this, is it life coaching? Okay.
I will just start it and I'll let them finish it. We have one male and one female case manager. So we'd like to let the male with the male and the female with the female and let them in relationships that we think that female needs a male We've had Dr. Kennedy from UNLV come in and have this little program for those individuals that are sex trafficked. We just began a behavioral health program that she is up to 43 clients within our organization, where they go in and do basic skills in psychosocial rehabilitation, group therapy. We have an organization, Day by Data, who does it. They have a program called Source Nest to deal with the clients that are possibly pregnant or a mom. So there are a array of services that we offer our clients. So when we say intensive, it's not just, it is really intensive. They don't want us to be there. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you answered my question. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for your time.
Thank you so much for coming. It takes a lot of bravery to sit there. We appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'd like to invite the Shade Tree up to join us. And I know you've heard our spiel. I'll let you go for it as soon as you're ready.
Good afternoon, I'm Marlene Richter, M-A-R-L-E-N-E-R-I-C-H-T-E-R. I'm the executive director of the Shade Tree Shelter. We're a 25-year-old agency that started out serving the needs of women in crisis and has now expanded to women and children in crisis. And in 2007 added the pet component. Not just because it's a really beautiful thing to have the pets there, but we knew that the women wouldn't come in. And if they came in without their pet, they wouldn't stay. And so for the 7 years that Noah's Animal House has been there, we've learned so much about how domestic violence becomes all throughout the family and how the thinking has to really be reprogrammed. And the pet turned out to be an amazing component. We have a 1% return to abuser rate for the people that bring their pets to Noah's Animal House. We're open 24 hours a day, and we've never closed our doors. We don't intend to do that. Even with all of these changes with centralized intake, we continue 24 hours a day to bring people in. And so that means when the police respond to domestic violence call, they can come right to our door. No hotline, no call, no reservation needed. We also are accepting the people that are there because of the economy. And in these recent times, we've served more than we ever anticipated. We surpassed 6,000 in the last 12 months. We had our peak number in this last August. We saw 700 new women and children under 15 come through our doors for services. A lot of first-time homeless, a lot of people that never imagined that they would find themselves in a situation that they were in, and needing a lot of guidance and direction about how to get out of the situation and how to move forward. We enroll their children in school. We get the women involved in job education, in counseling, in group therapy. We think about what happens and what's the best solution. And a part of this proposal is literally the very first person we're going to meet is our receptionist. She's bilingual. She's there Monday through Friday, and she's the first point of contact on the phone and in person that says what happened and what are you here for. And that's not just women or women with children, but also men. When they come in, if they were following the other people coming in for help, heard that we can help, then from that receptionist we say, these are the services. And we get on the phone and say, Catholic Charities, they're on the way. Salvation Army, they're on the way. And we make sure that they're going to get a warm reception from where we're sending them. We also have a lot of people that literally have to do everything behind. Not because they're not allowed to bring the things in, because they are. But for the people that literally fled for their life because of sexual assault, domestic violence, human trafficking, they need a change of course from the minute they enter. And our resource manager is the one that works with 2 part-time staff and volunteers to put those actions together to make sure that their shoes and undergarments and tops and bottoms outerwear when it's winter, all the way through their stay, we make sure that all of those things are there for them. So this proposal is for 2 staff salaries as well as the bus passes. We're already doing bus passes. We spend $1,500 a month for bus passes, and it's not enough. It's the primary way that women go out on that job interview for that first week or two of work before their full paycheck comes, and also the way that they're getting out to those other services. We collaborate with 55 different agencies that come on site. You've heard from some of the partnerships. We offer on-site intakes for the housing programs. We don't want anything to stand in the way, and we don't want them to go from shelter to shelter. We want them to go from shelter to transition or shelter to permanent. And that solution is as close as you can bring it to the hundreds we have on site. The average stay right now for our emergency shelter program is 14 days. They can stay up to 90, but we're asking that our intensive case management say, house them first, move them, get them back stable in our community so that they can go to work, so that their children can go to school from their apartment. And we provide all of the services that they're in need of. Right there on site, the support groups, 12-step groups, but also those therapeutic groups if there's been sexual assault, if there's been domestic violence, and human trafficking. We launched a new program this year called Courage for Change, and instead of outsourcing or bringing in free services for mental health services, we got our own provider number, and we now have a therapy group that's there on site. Mental health was the biggest issue that was available.
Board has questions. Board members. Different Pappas. I just want to say I'm a huge animal lover, and I know that my animals make my life complete, and I know how important it is. When you talk about an episode of recidivism rate versus most people go back a minimum of 7 times before they finally leave, and you've got a 1%. It's such an incredible component, and the fact that you can offer that and keep these families whole, including the parents, I just absolutely love that. Great.
Thank you for the work. As I mentioned earlier, I've been on the shelter board for many years. It's been about 15 since I've been with you. When you talk about the amount of trespass, what partnership do you have with the RTC to get
So that's actually 2 times as many bus passes as you would provide on the economy.
What is that? It's always a struggle that we've always had, right, in any homeless situation. So, what is it? Because the fact that shelter is already full and we've built it for the future scares me. What is it that the percentage of those who you are consider a success rate to get out of homelessness so that they don't come back? I know it's a loaded question.
Well, most of the time, when there's a static reception system going on in our community for housing, we were right at about 70%, and we stayed there. The most recent changes with the coordinated intake put a pretty big pickup in for the single individuals. So families, we're still seeing that success. We're still working out the individuals. They're coming back to us, and then we're going through the system again. But there's better jobs now and higher paying jobs, especially with the call center. So there's huge successes because of that.
Most of the families are still working on
individuals.
I'm assuming that you have bilingual services, that you can help clients that come in.
We have not only bilingual for Spanish, which is the traditional, but we also have staff that speak other languages, French, German, Tagalog, Iraqi, Farsi, and then volunteers. We have a big language bank, so that, especially for our human trafficking survivors, that we're able to meet them either on the phone through translation or in person. Thank you. I think Arnie took my breath away, and I haven't been here all afternoon, but I do want to say, when I started this work almost 20 years ago, actually over 20 years ago, there was such competition between homeless providers that it was just sort of an unspoken rule that it was dog eat dog. And truly, the shelter providers collaborate now. We get furniture, we give it to Destination, and then our people go over there when they have a successful discharge from the family and shop over there. And Salvation Army, they're on the phone with us day and night. Our veterans go to their veterans program while our female veterans are living there on site. They have people in their program that might need our services. If we can't do it, they can do it. We all together, Catholic Charities, share food with us every day. We're seamless now. And it might not look that way to the public, and it might not look that way from this seat that you sit in this very difficult situation, but I do want you to know that when you hear those names over and over of the collaboration, it's true, and it's because the city said you must collaborate. You set the pace, and you follow suit. And it's genuinely helped save the lives of men and women and children. And I think in the years to come, we're going to continue to have homeless, but we're not going to have so many people living on the street or living in shelters for the year and year and year until they pass. Instead, it's going to be a part of their journey, and then they're going to move back to their home, whether it's here or somewhere else. And that's all thanks to you. So thank you for what you've done as committee members.
Thank you. All right. Thank you again for joining us, and as always, for everything that you do for us.
Thank you.
Staff, anything regarding the scoring of the community applications and funding recommendations?
Just a couple of staff to bear in mind that the first priority is improvement for the homeless program, endorsing the that population. As a person who has been involved with nonprofit agencies, helping people being around homeless programs, I will tell you from staff perspective, the agencies really have worked hard to really work together a little bit better as opposed to the smile free stuff.
Question just from and maybe you'll hold this on the template, but we don't have to fund somebody, correct?
It's physically impossible.
Financially responsible.
I'm just saying, even at a minimum, so.
Yeah, even at a minimum, it's not possible. There's not enough money. Okay. So we'll talk about, we'll go over it, and the different topics. We'll go over it, and you'll see. I've got to keep going. Last thing on the agenda, last time on the agenda is citizen participation, public comment during this period. The agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the board, and subject to the action of the board. It's on the agenda. It is scheduled for action. You wish to be heard, you may the record, the amount of discussion, as long as you're not at this point, we'll move on. Thank you.
Phil Pollen with the Salvation Army. I just wanted to just say a couple things. First and foremost, again, thank you to all of you for your time, your dedication to be here, ongoing, and to listen to all these presentations. It is heart-wrenching in terms of the decisions that you'll be making, and I just wanted to say thank you for your dedication to be a part of this committee. One of the things that we continuously hear resonate is the partnerships. Talking about partnerships, and that's what we have to all realize, and we are doing such a tremendous job in the community, as Marlene mentioned earlier, in terms of no one entity can do it all. And so for the Salvation Army, we've really been reaching out, and today was our Subway Day. As I mentioned, I think it's before, the first Tuesday of every month, Subway comes out and serves all of our homeless clients free Subway sandwiches. And so that's a great partnership that we've been able to build this year. Last year, Subway partnered with us one day, and now we've been able to take it to 12. So the first Tuesday of every month, Subway comes out. We've had Little Caesars come out and do pizza. We've had Zappos be able to provide shoes to our homeless clients, and certainly turkeys. Jalisco Cantina, the Sportsman Channel, just recently came out and provided Wild Boar Chili Verde. And now we just had last Tuesday when I was here, we had Baby Stacks there at our campus serving pancakes and breakfast items. So it's partnerships that will help us. Collaboration, as we talked about earlier, and you heard resonates. Family Promise, Terry Lenneman. If we can't serve families and we keep them whole, we don't want to separate them. We want to keep them together. We can call upon Terry and know that the families are in whole. We reach out to Marlene, and I can tell you that Marlene and I have been working with clients. We don't just send clients back and forth to one another. We call. We meet each other. We've known each other for years. It's about keeping everyone together. And we love it, and it's just, and that those collaborations and trust, as we heard over and over again tonight, or this afternoon. Angela, we found Angela in a tree. She was literally in a tree, hiding because she just had lost all self-worth and had to build her back up and build her teeth back up and be able to get that taken care of. So it's just all of the things that we're working together, collaboration, partnerships. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on Thursday. Thanks.
All right, motion to adjourn?